All right, yo, welcome boys. Welcome to the first Maxroll X Blastcast podcast basically, where we're going to be discussing the patch notes for 3.25 Settlers of Kalguur and all of the new stuff that they showed us. And I think it was like the longest sort of like patch rundown slash video that I've seen ever from Path of Exile. It was like 50 minutes itself for just like showcasing the league mechanic itself and talking about all those things and all the changes. And then the patch notes were 30,000 words, which was like the longest we've ever had. And for me, it's like a little bit overwhelming, even just like thinking about all the changes. But I guess like I just wanted to gather like what you guys think about that. So if you guys want to like talk a little bit about like your first impressions, like just first like three major things that stood out to you maybe about the notes or the mechanic itself.
Wow.
Wow. I love the league mechanic raising kind of I don't know, like just the bottom of players, like people who can't play all day, they go to work, they can just queue stuff. I think that's great. I can't really see a downside right now. Maybe it's not going to be the best for a lot of us, but if there is more to the league mechanic for juicers as well, I think that's only a win.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
Yeah, I agree. That stuff, I had some people that were like, oh no, we have to wait. And it's like, bro, this is kind of sick, right? Like you get to have people run maps for you. You get to like go do your chores, come back, and you have like a huge shipment that just arrived or whatever it is. Like there's a lot of neat stuff there. My summary of the patch notes is super simple. Okay, the patch notes are so crazy that we don't even care about Divine Blessing just getting nuked. Like that's how wild the patch notes were. We lost the whole aura on so many builds, and it's just like nobody cares. This shit's crazy.
I mean, non-melee builds.
Yeah.
Non-melee builds care.
Well, yeah.
But who
Dark
cares
Marionette
about
is
non-melee
back.
this patch?
Yeah,
We're just all
true.
like,
Exactly.
run slam.
Exactly.
My first impression, it was so juxtaposed by the Diablo announcement. I was watching that first. It's like, here's $40 for this new class. Here's like the lore behind this character. And then GGG are like, yeah, we heard you like gaming, so we put a game in your game so you can game while you game. And I'm like, holy shit. I was really worried about the city builder aspect because I thought it would be something like, oh, you're putting a building here, playing full like Sim City, and you have to make like, I'm gonna have to make videos like, hi, is this in here, and this is how you build your city. Whereas this looks so streamlined and simple, and they purposefully said they took out a lot of complicated mechanics. So it just looks amazing. And for me, just the fact that Recombinators are back, it's an S tier league. It's my favorite ARPG mechanic, except maybe legendary potential. So it's crazy.
They did say nerfed, so we don't know what that means, to be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, that could also just be like they did mention that. Well, okay, so a few things that could mean, right? Hopefully, we can't double fracture. Like that's such a dumb mechanic, in my opinion. And they already said that they were removing the special things that could appear.
Yeah,
like the mutations.
In the QA,
Maybe they don't. Sorry, go ahead.
In the QA, they specifically said that everything is the same aside for the fact that it doesn't spawn any more of the Sentinel mods.
Yeah.
So if that's true,
I
everything.
think that's
Okay.
a nerf.
I missed that. Okay, that's huge. I thought maybe Alva gets nerfed, like the Alva mods on gloves, maybe or something. You can't have them all free anymore. But if that's back, gloves are back.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case because they just specifically said like, oh, it wouldn't spawn Sentinel mods anymore. Let's hope so, because I mean, but then that also does mean that you'll get like double fractures and triple fractures.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. I am actually gonna ask about it because it's so stupid. Like, I don't think we were ever able to do influence and fracture with recombinators.
No,
I don't remember that at least.
That's a last league thing, yeah.
But like that, I hated that.
Yeah, it makes. But I mean, mid tier crafting needs a little bit of a buff, right? A little bit of help, especially with Veiled Orbs not coming back, really.
True.
So it could be a band-aid fix for now, and then maybe they nerf it later. I think it could be good for a league.
I mean, we don't really know if they're increasing or decreasing the chance of Veiled Orbs dropping yet, right?
I guess.
Like, that's sort of stuff they're just, like, always playing around with. So, I mean, we can only
I
hope.
feel like it would have been like a line in the patch notes, surely, right?
Maybe. They did say that they
Yeah.
wanted to look at
They
betrayal
talked
mix.
about it too. Yeah,
They
and he would have
don't
brought it up when he
usually
talked
talk
about
about
it.
drop rates.
Mhm.
No, okay.
Yeah, but I
Well,
don't know.
there's our
It's
copium.
also it's I know I suppose it was a lot of copium for me. I managed bingo somehow, but this is the only patch I've ever seen where I didn't see a single negative post on Reddit. I was like, huh?
Yeah.
I think there's a few things that like I spotted out in the trailer that I was a bit worried about, but that's mostly from like what will this feel like a couple
Well,
weeks into the league type thing.
Yeah, I do think that there are things that are bad, but I think it's very overshadowed by the amount of cool stuff we're getting. Like
Yeah.
banners look really trash. The only usable one is War Banner.
The thing about banners is they just feel like that's what totems were, and now they're just
I
putting them
don't-
back.
Well, the thing is, right? The biggest thing for me about totems was that they died, and you had to keep it up constantly. I'm
Yeah,
okay with banners being something that's up maybe once a minute or once, like, really rarely, and is strong. But 3 out of 4 of them have conditional defense, which I never
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
in ARPG.
yeah, I agree.
sure.
Conditional defense is really frustrating.
It feels like the rage rework is also a little bit hit and miss. With I think Berserker actually getting pretty nuked,
Mhm.
unless I'm just not seeing it yet. But
Yeah, no
I
Berserker.
feel like Rage
did-
going forward might just be you don't really invest, but you just take 1 or 2 nodes that give you a little bit of Rage, just so you get it, right? But you don't want to invest into it. But I hope I'm wrong, because I used to love like Berserk and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Although you don't
I
get big
mean,
anymore, so maybe not.
That
Yeah,
is a
what's
huge
up with
nerf.
that, man? What the fuck? Right?
Those are fun.
Come on, that was so cool.
That
Yeah.
is a huge nerf. The biggest worry I have for melee is the insane lack of attack speed, because attack speed feels very good. It feels
Yeah.
good because it just
Mhm.
makes it feel more snappy. Like that was one of the things I didn't like in PoE 2, the big moves that do like bam. It's like like
Yeah, like a lot can happen in those wind up seconds, right? And I think as well, like when
Yeah.
you're kind of like playing melee, you do like sort of like that orb walking type of movement, right? Where you're like you got some monsters behind you or whatever, and you just turn around, boom. And what I felt like, with like low attack speed, it kind of almost feels like having like Dota turn rate or something, right? Where like you're
Yes.
kind of that's what it feels like,
Don't
and it
bring up
just doesn't
Dota.
feel, yeah, it doesn't feel great, I think. But I think once you get attack speed, that's really good. That's the one thing that
Yeah.
actually turns me off of like aggravated bleed stuff, because you're just very unincentivized to actually go for like attack speed. And then there's like sort of like a middle ground where it's like you don't want attack speed, and then all of a sudden it's like you want to go Crimson Dance. And if you go Crimson Dance, then if you're playing Glad, it's like what are you doing with aggravated bleeds, right?
Do we
So-
do we actually know if aggravated bleeds work with Crimson Dance? Do we know that already?
Shouldn't.
It
shouldn't,
shouldn't,
right?
no.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's no way, right?
that's actually a big deal for Crimson Dance and Lacerate and stuff. But
The
on
thing is, like, aggravated looks so easy that it's
Yeah.
kind of a nerf to Crimson Dance.
and to Glad,
Yeah.
which wants to have that as their payoff, right? The Ascendancy node that gives aggravated assault. It seems like you can get that for free, although
Yeah.
you would have to hit multiple times. So I guess the idea is if you go Glad, you have it always on the
Yeah.
first hit.
Well, I think
Yeah.
100% makes up for it, because the other one is 10%.
Yeah, you lose the more multi, right? Like the
Yeah.
more fit
Yeah.
damage over time. So
Like I'm looking into it depends what I want to do, but I really like the idea of League starting like spectral shields for Glad. And being very cognizant that like the damage is gonna fall off for bosses, but I'll be so safe for hardcore. I get like what 88% block, basically
Yeah.
in
think
cruel.
93, I think 93.75, no?
Oh
That's
right,
a-
I'm bad at math, but it's crazy
tap
high,
out.
super early.
Yeah.
That's
It's
And if
so
you go
wild.
to
So
80,
nice.
you actually if you go to 80 block, it's I think 96, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you can get +2 max from the mastery and +3 from that one node now.
it's
So-
so insane early for hardcore.
So- Yeah, I wanted to ask, like, as a hardcore player, do you think is it like a big deal in that case that it's conditional? It's kind of conditional, but not really. I never understood how hardcore players feel about block in general, like in that sense.
Well, block is really good. It's a similar concept to evasion. Well, evasion's really nice, right? Because you
Yeah.
can never get hit twice in a row. But
Mhm.
Yeah.
on a character like Glad, I'm probably still going to be very tanky inherently, right? I'm not going to build like a Kintsugi build where I can only tank one hit, but I'm never going to get hit twice in a row. Like I'll probably be actually able to tank 4 or 5 unlucky hits in a row, but I'll barely ever have that happen. So I would probably be going for defenses like really high armor, some evasion because you still want evade or mapping with a garbage, and then little bit of block, or sorry, max block, and I might not even need evasion. Actually, I could do iron reflexes. I think, is life on shield gone?
No.
Like the
No, I
percent.
don't think so. Probably
Because
buff.
that
Or
is
the front?
really nice.
Yeah. I think the biggest deal is also the node before that sets your block to 50. Because before, the problem with block, I feel like, was you had too much investment to do. Like, it was so much investment that if you put everything on block, like, it would be hard to also get other defenses, like you said. So you don't get one shot if you get hit. And that's now a lot easier. Like, getting to 75 block is really easy, it seems like.
Yeah, so it looks like a good starter. Oh, and endurance starters are so nice now. I think that is
Yeah.
going to be the
I
main
mean,
That
meta
was
for
crazy.
tanking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
They're like a no-brainer for every build now.
for real.
Yeah.
Endurance
and like
charges
Relic
straight
Dash
up
is like
DR.
S tier.
Yeah, they're just gonna be so expensive, aren't they?
Yeah,
Especially with
like,
the fact that like they're really. I mean, that's probably like a conversation for like some other time, but they're really nerfed loot on the top end and groups.
yeah.
We'll see what
I-
happens to uniques.
I am really worried as a hardcore player about the insane changes to like Fist Taken as. Because I feel like our defenses are very limited now in hardcore. It's pretty scary. Like, I feel like a lot of the right side builds, like, you still really need Lightning Coil because that effectively doubles your armor.
Yeah.
But like, how do you tank now? And like, I really want to try the new class, new Ascendancy. And do like one of the things me and Steele did a offline podcast. We went for like a 1 hour walk yesterday, and he was saying what do you call the bow thing that fires mana forced arrows? Like that would be insane with the new Warden class.
True,
and then
with
obviously
how
you have
spammy it
timing.
is as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like taming looks sus, right? Like there's no way
I
you're
think
getting
it's not
2,000% increase.
Yeah.
Timing's
there's
It's
no
gonna
never
way.
get
for
removed,
launch.
yeah.
It's like I
Pretty-
don't know.
Pretty sure.
Like if it's 2,000% increase, that's
I mean,
like
thing
nobody's gonna
that-
wear anything else.
the thing that's so weird about Warden is how much damage they give you on an Ascendancy. It's like all the other
Yeah.
Ascendancies, it's always like, okay, you get like 20% there, 25% there, and you never can go full damage either, right? Like there's number 4 damage nodes. And this is just like, okay, 100% increased damage taken, 80% more damage on kind of a pendulum effect, but you can choose, right? You can go double Scorch. The freeze node is, busted. You can go tinctures.
Yeah.
We don't know if tinctures are also good. I mean,
We have to see the mods, yeah.
bark
Yeah.
skin is pretty damn good. So there's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tinctures look kind of bad to me. I don't know if I'm cooked, but like they look awful and annoying and not what I enjoy doing in an ARPG.
But we have to
that
see
mana burn
because
stuff seems so annoying.
so we did the math on
Yeah.
tincture uptime. You can get it to 100, almost 100% uptime, with Warden, right? And like the cool and the 2 of the passives. The one passive that that caps you at 12 basically makes it so you can kind of control it. But the issue is we don't know the mods, right? Because whenever tinctures came out, we had this +2 proj mod, for example, that was just so much more better than anything else, right? So if there's just 1 or 2 mods on there that are OP, that changes how tinctures like are perceived already, right? So we'll have to see.
I was so excited when I saw tinctures too. I was like, oh man, we get all damage ignites, all damage poison, right? All damage shock. I was like, whoa, yes.
They
And then
show
I
the
saw
poison
it was
berry
like-
and it's like
Dude, yeah, it's like increases attack damage. I'm like, what is this?
It's
And it
over.
burns
Yeah.
our mana now.
you can ult
like-
them though, at least.
Yeah, hopefully
That's true.
we still have some really good mods on them, but they were, I don't know, what they showed there was a little disappointing.
Yeah.
There are unique tinctures as well. That is very interesting.
Wait,
Oh, really?
Mhm.
That gets spicy.
Did they show that?
Huh?
They
I
didn't
didn't
show
see
it.
that.
They just said it.
Oh, they just said it. Okay.
Do you,
I must have missed that.
so
Oh,
how
wow.
bad is the NDA? Wait, what?
No, that's, I had like, and that's actually something I was talking about on stream yesterday. Like, I love that we don't get like any early access stuff because it's like so sad for D4.
Yeah.
Because then you have to
Yeah.
be like, yeah, guys, wait till you see this. Whereas I'm just sitting here pugging out.
So can we
That's
make a GoFundMe for the NDA thingy or?
I don't
Or
have an
just
NDA.
wait?
I don't know anything.
Check
This is
DMs.
like
Check DMs.
Oh yeah, okay, all right.
this is in the notes. I just read. I
Yeah.
just read better. I thought I was the
Okay.
one that was supposed to be bad at reading.
I'll be
Well,
honest,
I
I
find it
kind
for
of
you.
spaced out a little bit during the Q&A. I feel like there was like
For
a lot of
real.
really good info there.
It was
There
it
I
was
was.
like my
missed,
brain
too.
reset. It was like all of a sudden all Necropolis just got washed away, and it's just like new.
They flushed us
I
out.
was the exile that washed on the shore. Yeah.
Especially like after watching like the 50-minute like like overload of just like all this information, like mechanic, this is what it does, now we have this new currency, this thing, and then you could trade like auction house, and then all of a sudden it's like, yo, let's just talk about some stuff. And it's just like sitting there like I can't just kind of process this for a bit.
Check DMs. Read it and weep. Tinctures can be magic or unique, but not rare.
Okay, so it was just in the notes. Yeah, we're clueless, chat.
Damn.
And I asked
My
chat, I
bad.
was like, they weren't unique before, were they?
No, there was none. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
I
gonna be
can't think of
interesting
it.
because we'll have to see if they're static or they scale with tincture effect, because there's actually a lot of tincture effect on the tree as well.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean,
But yeah.
the crazy
Maybe
thing
that's
is Warden
where
is
the
good even
poison
if
and
tinctures
ignite
suck.
stuff is.
Sorry, what?
Maybe that's where the poison and ignite, all damage stuff
Hopefully.
is.
Mm.
We'll see.
Surely, yeah, surely.
I
But
feel
I mean,
like
like-
that would be the main reason to bring it back, so
Yeah, for sure. Because it just opens up so much cool stuff for attack builds, right? But we do have
Yeah.
a new way to pretty much guarantee poisons now, like with the grasping vines and the eater
The
boots.
boots.
Yeah.
Mhm.
but that's
Now
on
there's like a little bit
obsession
of
or
ramp
targets.
up on that, but I mean, like 3 hits to then have all damage poisons, I feel like is pretty good.
Poison spark. Yeah.
Yeah, like you can least
How
have
does
poison
it-
spark, right? Like
But how does it
technically.
work in a
Mhm.
map? How fast do grasping vines fall off if they? It just reapplies over and over, right? Like,
It
it never falls off,
reapplies.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
about like the ramp up the first 3 hits, which is gonna feel like a little bit like shit. But I think
Yeah.
like with something like Spark, I don't necessarily feel like that's too much of an issue, right?
Molten strike. Yeah.
Oh, so
Molten
that
Strike
anointment,
especially huge.
that anointment, is there a chance there? I forget. Like, what's the exact
No.
wording on that?
No chance.
It's
Every
just like
hit,
every
one
hit?
Yeah.
That's tight.
Did you guys
Yeah.
see the anoint that gives strike skills can target 40% further away?
No, I didn't.
What?
Mm.
That's a thing?
Yep. Unless I misread
They
it.
removed all
I
the strike
like I
range
think
on-
I think I'm
on
playing
gems.
I think I'm playing fucking Lightning Strike. Like this
Yeah.
patch looks so good for LS. Like holy.
It looks really good.
Yeah. And Valspark is coming back this patch. I was very excited to hear that.
Wait, really? I didn't even see that.
Really?
So, Neon said that one of the things you can put as an enchant on a dagger is the 100% reduction in Val
Yeah.
replenish time.
Oh.
So that means that you can
Yeah.
just literally have full perma uptime on Valspark again.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That
I
is
don't
really
think it's
exciting.
perma
Monster.
because it's the wording on it says reduced, but if it said less, I think it would be like fully less, right? But reduced would
No,
still be like
100%.
multiplicative.
No, it should be 0 because that's what people
Really?
used to do on the helmet, right? On the tornado helmet or the
I don't
twister
remember
helmet.
I don't remember the wording of like Val skills. It's been so long.
Is it different on Val skills?
I just can't imagine that they give us Val skills back. I'm like actually like in disbelief.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I'm challenging it.
Well,
I mean,
only
I'm
on
thinking about Val
daggers,
Lightning
but
Strike.
Still.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, because if that's the case, then I mean that's all I'm playing, right? Like
Yep.
just Val skills all league. It's so good.
What about kinetic blast though? Getting
Kinetic Blast actually looks pretty good with the it got
Ooh,
like
that
an
was a
extra
cheeky little ad there.
100% increase and I think like 0.25 increase
150,
attack speed
right?
as well.
Yeah.
15% more attack speed. The
Ah,
want
is it
bases,
15?
like imbued want now has 8 base crit and 1.6 attack speed, and it's 200% of spell damage as attack damage. So you can go like
Yeah.
Wrathpith Globe, maybe life stacking, or you can go
Mm,
in stacking. You can go Parcher stacking. You can cheese it somehow.
Yeah,
Pretty
Wonders
good.
look really good.
Yeah, like it's always like KB is just, I mean, one of the craziest skills in the game.
That's why I love
And-
CF so much. Like, dude, KB's
Yeah.
so comfy.
Yeah, it's super comfy. And on Warden as well, right? Like you might even be able to Bleak start it, but then again, with all those melee buffs, it's like hard to justify, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at like EA and stuff, and EA got hit pretty hard. It's like, ugh. Archmage is not hit pretty hard though.
Archmage is totally fine. What do you think,
Like,
Paul?
Yeah, I mean, you have to use Eternal Blessing now, which could be annoying sometimes, but
Yeah,
it is what
Think
it is.
about this: Dark Marionettes are back. We don't know exactly like how they're functioning, but that just basically, if they're working like they were in Affliction, that just means that you can have like Guardian's Blessing. Is that what it's called? And you just like have your Dark Marionettes
Oh yeah.
going, and you still get your aura. So I don't think you should really be too worried about that, honestly.
it's so annoying when they turn off.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like they get out of sync. You're just like a little bit annoyed, but
Yeah, I feel
That's
like you
the
really
thing,
need
it's like
3
pretty
for it
good.
to feel comfy.
true. Yeah. Yeah. If you can get
Pestilence
3.
Strike. Pestilence Strike a triple damage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm surprised Corbalage got buffed. Thought that was already like quite popular.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
They didn't look
Yeah.
at Venom Gyre at all. Like Venom Gyre got forgotten. It's kind of funny.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a melee part, right? So
Yeah,
there
but
you go.
I mean, you know, it's edge.
It is
uses
kinda
melee
funny that-
weapons.
I was 99% sure they wouldn't buff Lightning Strike and Molten Strike. It didn't make any
Yeah.
sense to me, but they did.
But they actually
It's-
buffed.
Mhm.
Like LS got
Incredible, man.
mega buff. Like actually insane buffs
Yeah.
to LS.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
really nice.
Really, what did Lightning Strike get?
Oh,
like
I think
an
it's a
extra
typo
100?
right now. I'm pretty sure it's a typo right now because it says like otherwise it says like 263, but the brackets are wrong. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to mean 400 or something because otherwise it would do less damage than Lightning Strike of Arcing, which would be weird. I'm 99% sure it's a typo. Otherwise, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
There have been
that's
quite a lot of
weird,
typos.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is
DD
pretty
says-
long.
LS of Arcing scales up to 377, previously 200, right?
Yeah.
But the normal
And-
LS says scaling up to 237, previously 163.
Yeah, it was previously 225, so it's like wrong. Yeah. It's probably 400, whatever. That would be exactly the percentage it was before difference between the two. So
Ah.
Figure
Right.
it out, pal.
I think so. I mean, I hope so. Unless
Yeah, you
Like-
really hope so. That is a big difference.
I'll just play Lightning Strike of Arcing. Otherwise, like, who cares? I'll
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, LS of Arcing looks amazing. I want to implant like a thought as well. ES got mega buff, right? Technically, because of the new bases, getting a ton more, and as a result, like Trickster Ephemeral Edge is now, like in my opinion, broken, completely broken.
True. Yeah.
Sure,
No,
but I
absolutely.
mean, every Fizz weapon got buffed, right? To be fair, so
Yeah, that's true. But it like Fizz got buffed, but like Ellie is also like buffed as a result of just like all of the increases on the gems themselves. And then because of the fact that like now Taken As is also nerfed, like you don't need Taken As if you have like 22k ES, right? Like you're just kind of chilling at that point. So like
Yeah,
Trickster
sure,
was
but-
never really going for those sort of defenses, and then now you get like an extra like 150% effectiveness across the board.
that's true. But you also have the life rolls improving, right? Like the flat life rolls.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Like
relatively,
that's
I
true
think
though.
that's what they're going for. That it's still kind of the same, right?
Yeah, so like life stacking is also buffed, I think, if that's what you're like saying.
No, I'm saying
So-
relatively to, ES because you said ES is buffed, right? Like relative to life, it's like I think it's
Yeah.
actually pretty samey, right? Yeah.
No, but like the damage you get from Ephemeral Edge, it's just because it's like multiplicative, right? Since you're just getting more ES, and then you get like
Sure.
more increases from the gems themselves.
Mhm.
I think that's like a potential big winner there, but Shattering Steel doesn't look too good. Like it looks alright compared to like other stuff.
Yeah.
We'll have to
I think
see how hard it is to get that that enchant on, right? Like the returning proj enchant. Do we know anything about that? Like what the currency is? How expensive?
Or
I
even
think you
like
get-
what base is it on?
it's on bow.
yeah,
that's
we don't
for
know,
sure.
right?
No,
Yeah,
are
bows.
you sure?
It's
Yeah,
bows
we know
for sure because
it's on bow.
yeah, bows
Okay.
for sure because there's a bow in, and it's not grayed out, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was like in the video itself. I was doing like some research. I can post it here.
Sleuthing.
Yeah. But
The
that
pretty
like
big
bows
deal-
got mega buffed. It's actually, actually.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a pretty big. People just say, yeah, just use Nemesis, but there's some skills where it's really nice that you don't have the random directions, right? Like for Lightning Strike, especially Lightning Strike of Arcing that doesn't have that many proc. Like it's actually
Mhm.
really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
not
and
sure if
like
you're gonna be able to
Nemus
use it
div
unless
card
though.
can't drop anywhere anymore, right? So you really just gotta like get it from the boss, right?
Well, yeah, we'll have to see what tier 17's.
Shell out. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how they're gonna be, especially for hardcore. Like they were so rough last league, and if like they missed any of the really bad monsters, thankfully they've nerfed revenants because they were fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
did
yeah.
they even nerf it? It's just more visual now, right? Like you just see it, which
No, they
doesn't
nerfed
really
it.
feel like it
Well,
changed the
Well,
problem. But
it probably doesn't like insta detonate, like, cause they started detonating before you'd killed anything in tier 17s.
mm,
They also specifically said they like kind of like nerfed monster variety in that sense. Like there's not gonna be as many revenants as there was before in the Q&A.
Yeah.
That's like as far as I understood it correctly. Like he was like really pissed off about the fact that it was just revenants everywhere.
that was wild.
Yeah.
When you open up abominations and you're like, oh, that's funny, that's a revenant pack, and then you do a couple more and you're like, oh, that's just the map. It's like sick. I have to deal with that.
There were some monsters that were crazy. The funniest thing for me was like, the really big goats, and there was just like one per pack. But sometimes I'd Harbinger in my map, and I'm like, oh god, and there'd be like 20 large goats jumping at me. And I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen like those guys with Union of Souls? That was actual nightmare fuel.
I never run that, not once.
Yeah.
You see it one time on YouTube and you're like, nope.
With tier 17s, I researched a lot before I went in as a hardcore player. I was like, I ain't not going in blind there.
Yeah, they sucked, man. They were not fun. I think it was like the least fun I've ever had in PoE. I think chaos
Yeah.
spamming and running them.
It felt so bad struggling through tier 17s. I'm like, you know what? I'll do an Uber, and it's like snap.
Yeah, you just
I was
like
like,
one shot.
wow, what a relief! Like, shouldn't be like that. Should be harder.
Yeah. But on the topic of Ubers, I feel like Uber loot is gonna be extremely expensive next league. Like Pro Genesis, now that Fizz taken as is not really like as powerful as it was before. Like Pro Genesis is just completely broken. I think that Flask is, and they didn't nerf it. Like that was one of the first control Fs I did in the patch notes. That thing is gonna be like 100 div plus. I don't know how much it was on hardcore, but in softcore it's like.
I think it's all one for 250. 250
Okay.
and 300.
Okay.
That was a perfect roll, though.
Start doing some
Right.
sanctums.
So yeah, I think
always,
that,
whenever I get a Progenesis, I like, even if I'm selling it, I throw a few divines on it just in case.
yeah. Good call. They're gonna be wild. Like everybody's gonna want one.
Man, they hit Defiance of Destiny. That was kind of crazy. That was like
Isn't
a
it still
big
really good?
smack. Well, so what's the top end now? It's like, isn't it 25?
24.
24?
Yeah, 24 with quality. Yeah, it's still really good.
Yep.
Like Defiance of Destiny is absurd.
Yeah, it's just
I wonder
crazy
if
how
they're
good
keeping
it
it
was
tier
before.
zero.
Like,
Yeah.
Jesus.
What was that says?
I wonder if they're keeping it tier 0.
Yeah, surely. I think. Because I think it still sits in T0. Like it's still really, really good.
Was it Mage Blood good, though?
Yeah, no, that's actually a fair point. Yeah, probably not. No, definitely not.
I wonder how many brutal charges we're gonna see this league. Definitely more than last league, that's for sure. Like brutal charges
for sure.
with Relicash. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
Tri-Stacker Slayers are gonna be everywhere.
Yeah. I love that interaction.
Yeah. I do wonder though if people are actually gonna go for the frenzy charges, because if you go eventuality rod, you have the belt and you get like corrupted Relicash, you already start off with +3 endurance charges. And then if you take the frenzy node, you're kind of at almost a disadvantage, right? So I wonder if it's actually gonna be Slayer or something else, but either way.
No, I think Masterful Form is still insane. No, it's still completely out of control.
Sure.
But you
There's
could
a lot
also
of
use
fun things.
Badge on like
You can.
things other
Yeah.
than Slayer. Yeah.
Emmy slot though, I don't know. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
But I think like for what endurances give you, it's like for sure worth now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Or
if
put
you
the
don't
patch.
have them, sure. I'm just saying, might as well go Slayer. Slayer actually looks really good, especially on projectile melee skills, right? Where you can split the instant leech and the leech over time. Because on a normal melee skill, the new wall pack basically, unless I misunderstand it, completely removes your overtime leech because everything's
Yeah.
instant. So you
That's
can't
a,
use while
that's a
leeching.
nerf to Slayer, yeah. Actually, like
Yeah.
Vault Pact is like a bit of a nerf there.
Well, I mean, if you go Lightning Strike or Mom Strike, it still works because it only says melee, unless I read it incorrectly.
That's a
Oh,
fair point.
oh, yeah. Actually,
I wonder if it actually splits that. That's actually a good point. I didn't think about that.
yeah.
Because then like you'd
It's
get
gonna
like.
be better than Warden though.
I mean, I think Warden is like, it's good on paper, but like if you're playing LSF Arcing, I think like you still would have to go for a Deadeye. I don't know if you would actually play a Warden.
I liked so I initially didn't like the whole like 80% more elemental damage thing because I thought it was something that popped periodically. But when you actually
Yeah.
look at it in the planner, it's just berserk.
Yep.
It's
You can
crazy
press
how
it.
it feels like it's just like way better that Elementalist pendulum.
Mhm.
It's like
yeah,
wow,
Yeah,
I get to
'cause
choose, and
I
it's
hate
even
those.
larger. Yeah, I hate
Yeah.
that shit.
I hate
To be fair, it's
conditional
not
things.
like
Mhm.
focus because you can't press it at the start. It goes. It's like
yeah. You have to
backhanded.
blind up. Yeah,
It's
like
not up front.
If you're like
Mhm.
hitting hit cap, it's like 7 seconds to charge it, and then 10 seconds to use it, right? So you're still
Yeah.
kind of like, yeah, 70%.
And it's never like
times.
perfect on 0.2
Awesome.
cooldown, right? Like it never procs perfectly.
Yeah, no,
really,
exactly. Like,
realistically, yeah. So it's gonna be 10. It's gonna be like half uptime if you press it perfectly, probably. Realistically,
So
Yeah.
does Hermapnosis though?
yeah.
exactly, or like rares or whatever. So like that's all the only place where you realistically need damage. I do wonder if
Yeah.
like, I mean, surely not. Like, but I don't know. Maybe if you can like, since we can't put it on left click, you'll have to like actively press it, and you can't link it to stuff, which is the only downside I'm seeing. But otherwise, it's insane.
Mhm.
That the freeze node, the Hoarfrost stuff, that looks crazy too. Especially with
crazy.
the like the bosses being able to go to 50 reduced action speed now instead of 30. Like it already
Yeah.
felt sluggish on 30 on bosses. I can't imagine 50.
50 is crazy.
Yeah.
What the hell,
Shaper
dude?
Slam gonna be like,
you're gonna fuck it up just because it's so slow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that might
I've-
end up killing people.
I've
Yeah.
seen that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm literally thinking, like, I know Garatha did a really crazy Glacial Hammer build, and Glacial Hammer must be so insane now.
It got like
Yeah, I remember that.
times
Yeah.
I saw him
2.5
doing, like,
damage as well or
sanctums with that.
something. Yeah. Trauma did get nerfed though, the support, but
Mhm.
That's
yeah.
true.
It looks wild.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm worried about tanking. It's gonna be Endurance Charge Central.
That's gonna be it.
Well,
I'm
like
sniping
armor
those,
looks very strong.
Unveiled min endurance charge rings. Get that endurance charge on kill ASAP.
Yep.
Also, max res is way easier to get
Yeah.
now.
You
Yeah,
can get
that
it
was
on
Oh.
Jules.
crazy. On Jules is wild.
On Jules, yeah, it's a pretty big chieftain buff. Also, I love
For
how
sure.
Adorned is 0 to 100, and in order to get
What's
max
that
res, you need a
crazy?
100 roll. It's so funny.
Can you imagine farming Adorned now and you just get like 16, 32, 45? Man, it's just like,
0. A Jew with literally no stats.
yeah, like what?
Just like just adorned. That's a collector item right there. You know, I actually called this nerf like a few days ago.
I
Well,
did
the
too,
100%.
I called the 0
I
to
said-
100.
I said 50 to 100, but yeah.
Oh, okay, noob.
I thought it would be
0
0
to
to
100.
120.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. Yeah, at like
Okay.
120 or something. Yeah. Or like, I mean, the nerf I would have liked to see was like you can only have 3 magic jewels or something, or cluster jewels don't work
Oh,
again.
yeah.
Because then at least it
Right.
would have been high impact. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. 0 to 100 is still completely broken if you're rich enough to afford 100.
Yeah, 100.
Like 100 is disgusting. Still, unlike magic
yeah.
jewels, like
A lot
Mhm.
of people in my chat were saying like, oh, it's completely dead now. No one's gonna use it. And I'm like, you're completely
No.
right. If you find any, please send them my way. I will take them off you so that you don't have to suffer. Like, don't worry, I got you.
rolling
I'm
the
still
jewels.
not
Just
100%
thinking about
sure.
the jewels. Oh boy.
I'm still not 100% sure because for a lot of builds that were using it before, now unique jewels are back on the menu,
Yeah,
and they actually
that's
have
true.
good unique jewel alternatives. So even though that nerf might seem small-ish in that context, I think it might remove Adorn from a lot of builds. Still,
Yeah, I think it'll remove it from a lot, yeah. But there's some builds that are just benefit so much from it. Like for example, yeah, like Ephemeral Edge is just insane with it, right? Like doubling the ES roll is like, okay. Yeah. It's
It was
unfortunate because
kind of
it's
neat
so
too.
strong.
Like how I look back at like all the end game builds or whatever, and a lot of them were just like Adorn spamming. But that's like kind of neat that at the top end you can kind of just like choose a fun ability that you like and spam all sound jewels or whatever the hell. But
for
whatever.
a few leagues, right?
Just get it
But
done. Yeah, for a few. Yes.
Have you played them, Tripo?
No, I didn't get.
That sounds like
a take.
That sounds like something somebody who hasn't played them would say.
it is.
I didn't play them either.
Making an Adorn build is basically you are on the outskirts of the passive tree and you hover over notables on the side and you're like, oh, that's cute. I'm just going to path further.
Yeah, I'm just going to.
Oh, that's cute. I'm going to path. And you just take all the large clusters anyways.
I just thought it was fun. Like you get to choose whatever ability you want, right? And you just blast it.
I played a bunch of Adorn builds and it was absolute despair. Like 3 days in the menagerie, like imprinting and Hinakora's locking. Holy.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really want to do that again. But the unfortunate reality is like, I'm going to have to do it again, probably. 100% is too good. I mean, I'm crying here about like having cool stuff to do, right? It's like,
there's a lot of cool stuff to see.
Yeah, it's like there's nothing to cry about.
The league mechanic seems kind of chill. Like it seems way less sweaty.
Yeah.
Like you can just. Yeah, I love it. I like that about Toda as well. I didn't play much Toda, but I like that it existed. Right? It's like kind of it's kind of chill. You can log in, do a few things, and then log out again. It's kind of like PoE doesn't have that much of those kind of things.
Yeah, I really like Toda because it reminded me a little bit of RuneScape. Because in RuneScape, if you don't want, like, even if you're playing hardcore in RuneScape, if you don't want to die, you don't have to. You actually have completely safe content you can do. Whereas Path of Exile doesn't, right? Like, there's always risk involved. Even if you're doing tier 1 maps, you could DC and die. But in Toda, Toda was like, really, really cool for that. Like, I would play it so much while watching movies and stuff off stream.
Yeah.
I do really like that. Like, I'm just imagining like some dude before class, before work, whatever. He just pops on for like 10 minutes, clicks a couple things, and like, he gets a little something for that. Like, that's so cute. Like, I love that shit.
Yeah,
comes back, just has that warm, fuzzy feeling when he sees the Divines.
He's like excited to get home,
Exactly.
Yeah, like.
And then he got
it's perfect.
Then he got destroyed by all the pirate kings, and he got like ransomed.
He goes
4
to the
times.
town. The bandit lord's there. Dead. He has to fight him.
He logs out, installs Diablo 4. It's over. Yeah.
Every time I see timers in a game, I'm always really worried. But the main reason for that is because it's usually monetized. It's usually like, you can wait 1 hour, or you can pay $1. But since
Warframe.
we don't have that,
Warframe. Yeah.
But since we don't have that, and Mark plays the game, if it's really annoying, Mark's gonna be like, "Holy fuck this shit," and just like, okay, it's 50% faster now. So I think the timers will feel quite good.
I hope so. I fucking hate timers. When I saw that, I just got flashbacks to Warlords of Draenor, like doing my garrison. So I as much as I think the mechanic has like a lot of cool stuff going for it, like the whole time gating thing and untradeable currencies for me was like it was an absolute complete turn off, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Just don't forget to do your dailies, right?
Yeah, it's like it's a daily thing, and then also like you have this like blue juice that you have to disenchant from your item. Each item at level 1 takes 24 minutes to disenchant, and it gives you a percentage amount, and that's how you're gonna be doing your recombinators. So you know for sure. Like, I hate to be like the guy that's negative here, but people are gonna go and buy services to trade 2 items for them to recombinate their stuff, because if it's time gated and it's throttled and it's untradeable with a mechanic as powerful as this, it's
it's too early for this. Wait till like week 1 for this, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna be like a word of caution, because if like they need to be really careful with that sort of stuff, I think, especially with Trade League. It's really scary. I'm really scared about that stuff.
What I love is gold respecking. It's like having to worry about giving people like a leveling tree where they have to respec 20 points is gonna be a thing of the past. It's gonna be like
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna have some gold. Come on,
Yeah.
it's best thing ever.
And like obviously like for those that are worried, we obviously still have regrets because can you imagine if like, oh, I need to respec, but you can't because you don't have any gold. Like that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
we
like a new
obviously still have
character or something.
Yeah.
And because gold is character bound, right? It's not account, it's character.
No, it
Is
should
it?
be
Yeah.
account bound.
I can't
What's-
find, I would assume.
A compound.
Yeah.
Mm.
Bro, imagine.
I don't know. I swear
Account.
they specifically mentioned character, but maybe not.
I will riot.
Yeah,
Like
like
imagine
that,
having like
wouldn't that be a little
1.6
bit
million
crazy?
gold and I die
Yeah.
and I'm 0, I will fucking tilt off the planet.
Yeah, that
They
would
mentioned
suck.
character bound. Okay, interesting.
Oh.
Hmm.
That's
Make
not
the
good.
tweets.
That is not good.
I'm
Uh,
pre-tilting. I'm starting to tilt.
Wait, but does that
Podcast
mean that
just
they
ruining the
removed
league.
did they remove regret orbs? They didn't, right?
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Because
I
I
heard
like I
nothing
think
about
the
that.
gold itself is gonna be a massive throttle as well. Like as far as I saw, like the gold drops themselves and the cost of upkeep because you literally have to pay your boys' salaries, and then everything costs like upwards of like 2k gold to send out people to do stuff.
Yeah.
And like an invitation dropped a fair amount of gold, but from what we've seen, I think unless like you're doing 8 mod juicing, I think like you're severely gonna be throttled by gold.
Maybe. I don't think it'll be a huge problem, but we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
like
I
something
mean,
that's
it's
easy
we'll
for
have
them to
patch notes.
balance as well.
With like, yeah, gold costs increased by 200%.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the craziest thing is auction house. Like I've always been like against an auction house because we don't have gold in Path of Exile. So I was always worried like the only way an auction house works is if there's tax, right? So you don't have flippers. But this like fixes that so nicely.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be good. Do we know like what the can you still price fix? Did they say it's gonna be like
Yeah.
like you can still, right? Yeah.
You can still do it, of course.
What do you
Like
mean?
Sure.
low commodity, like in the sense of like like low stock markets, like Hinocore's locks or whatever. Yeah. People will price check for price
Yeah,
check for
it
sure.
will be really interesting to see like mafias and stuff, and like
Oh,
maybe
God.
all you like software streamers go like, okay, operation go, and you like buy out every divine orb, relist it for like 40 higher. It's like boom, we did it.
Yeah, I mean, like you
I would
think
do
about
stuff
things
that
like
in WoW.
Eldritch currency is like it's kind of pretty. It's a pretty scarce resource, right? Like chaos orbs and that kind of stuff. You buy like the bottom 30% of the market, increase the price by 20%, and you've literally just made like tons of divines, right? Like that's now a thing that's super easy. So that's like the main concern with the auction house. But the upside, of course, of that is that the game doesn't suck anymore, right? So that's kind of like trade on the trade side of things. Like I was gonna play SSF, and then I figured I saw that, and it's like, yo, if I want to run a map, I can now just buy the things. Like you buy the scarabs, and you just just do the thing. It's so good.
Speaking
But there will
of
definitely
scarabs,
be like flippers.
they tied that to map drops now, right? That was the wording there with chisels and whatever. So yeah, that's kind of crazy.
That's actually a topic we can go on about. Like
Mhm.
pretty sure I don't know about all of you guys, but I'm pretty sure like we all saw like the negative impact of MF and how much in general like we saw like a huge increase in loot in the past like 3 leagues since Affliction. It feels like we went from like being like relatively like 10 divs an hour is like a good farming strat to last league being like if you're not making 90 divs you're a noob. But like it's like what happened, and pulling out like thousands and thousands of items.
I don't know if that's a consequence of MF, more like just the game getting a little bit harder and more challenging. So I'm not sure that's really an MF issue, but actually let me check if Fubgun is in chat. No, yeah, I think it's a good change.
Yeah, we gotta be careful.
True.
Don't say it's a good change for Random. They'll take you out. Yeah, no, I mean that's something I've been suggesting since Affliction, because like MF,
yeah.
like especially the fact that it's only on uniques, it just doesn't feel fun. Like you're not finding new gear. Like it's like, okay, cool, I'm level 26 and I found my best in slot glove. That's not really
I hate
fun.
MF.
Yeah.
Whereas like rarity is pretty interesting. But yeah, quant bad. It was also shocking to me to hear that there was somebody finding 100,000 uniques per map.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
what the hell
wild.
was that? Was that the Beyond, like, whatever the hell thing that was going on for a
So
couple
the meat
days
sack
there? Or
stuff.
No
I
one
didn't know it was
surprised
that
me.
many though.
yeah,
Oh.
that's
Yeah,
wild.
I mean, there was people pulling like 3 headhunters from map last league. It was like a thing.
But
with meat
I
sacks.
would have thought the amount would be like 10,000 or less. 100,000
Yeah.
is just so
Mm.
beyond what I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
Filters working overtime.
I just
Yeah.
look forward to the pickup range more than
Yes.
anything.
Oh, dude,
On
they added.
skills, man, on skills like Whirling Blades, it's gonna feel so good because it was
Mm,
always
true.
like fixed distance, right? And you still had to have a little bit of movement speed so it doesn't feel awkward. And now you can probably even cut your Quicksilver and it's still gonna feel. Oof.
It's a good point.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, somebody
There's the
sent me a
inventory dump
picture.
now too.
Yeah, and they
That's
added that as like an
so nice.
afterthought.
Yeah.
It was like an afterthought of the auction house. They're like, well, you can dump it from the auction house. Like, why not, from your inventory too?
Yeah.
Oh,
Here's like the picture I sent in Discord. Somebody from my chat said this is the most we got in one map.
Damn, that's crazy. That is wild. I'll show Twitch
It's
chat.
actually
Look at that.
disgusting. One map, by the way.
What the
only one headhunter.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Mage Bloods, a Headhunter, a Calandra's Touch. What the hell is that? And then he picked up a little Rat's All Flame. Cool. Man.
Hey, there's a void battery.
Yeah. That's
I
just
think that's
not
6
okay.
man, but like,
Yeah, but still, like,
fucked.
that's not okay. That is not okay.
it's not a mage blood each, like you'd have to do a second map.
True. My God.
It was
fun
also
for one
like,
league.
I mean, for me, this is also like it like burnt me out very fast. Like as a like streamer, no lifer, you're always gonna be so ahead of the curve. But I don't focus that much on the economy and making wealth. And I quit the league with like 5 mage bloods and like
Yeah.
my character was like 2,000 divines, and I'm like, okay, this is like not fun. Like I'm
Just get
too
bored
far
at that
ahead.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like your next upgrade is literally just spending like the next 3 days in the menagerie.
Yeah.
That's like what I was at, right? Like
Well,
my next upgrade
yeah.
is like, all right, time to make a triple implicit jewel that I'm gonna buy for like the base for 150 div and spend 400 div on vultures. Like, oh
I
God.
really believe what you just said is exactly what keeps us playing. Like, how far away is our next upgrade? When you're like, oh, I'll get another upgrade for my build in like another hour of playing or 3 hours of playing, like, on average, like you have a rough idea.
Mhm.
Once you start going, like the next upgrade is like 50 hours of grinding away or 100 hours of grinding away, and you don't have anything in between that. That is when Path of Exile gets really boring and stale.
It's
Mhm.
true.
Yeah, it's
Also,
true with
some
like
of the
every
endgame
ARPG.
stuff. Yeah, I do think like some of the endgame stuff can be extremely tedious in PoE when you get to those like big 50-hour grinds, like Menagerie. Like I just think like it's good that they're nerfing Adorned because it did drive a lot of people to doing like very very like degenerate type of just sit in one place, buy beasts and like do nothing for 3 days. Like that's I don't think that's
Yeah.
like particularly fun for anybody. Hitting the item
Yeah,
is
I don't know
fun.
how Sushi does that. Like Sushi will spend weeks in the menagerie. I don't know how he does it. That man's a hero.
I mean, he has chat, right? Like streaming is fun.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but still,
I don't know how the
bro, you
people
had
that
chat,
do, that
right?
don't stream do that because there's
What do you
people
mean?
that
They
don't
just
stream
put
that do
in.
that.
They just put in a podcast or something. What do you mean? I used to do that all the
Yeah,
time
I
before being a
suppose.
streamer.
I'd like be like playing like 3 games at the same time. Maybe I'd have ADHD or something, but I'd have like
Yeah.
RuneScape. I'd have PoE. I'd just be like,
I definitely never enjoy min-maxing one character that hard. And like the hardcore vibe, I think like it's different on softcore, but the hardcore vibe of doing that, like I usually like having a lot of different characters. And this league I basically died one time. And when my 2000 divine character died, I was like, man,
yeah,
make
the
a new
rebuild.
character now and it'll be like none of the power I had.
Even on softcore, like some people love min-maxing one character, but for me, there's a point where my next upgrade is like 100 divines and it gives me 1.2% more damage, and that's usually the point where I'm like, okay, I can make another character.
Yeah. Holy, there's so much to unpack.
There's
I guess like I wanted to ask, like, is there actually a build that you guys have in mind for next league? Like, what is like if you were to like say like right now, like what is the thing that's that you're most attracted to from the patch notes?
Probably
Gladiator, Spectral Shield Throw.
Yeah.
probably Lightning Strike Warden.
Yeah. Okay. You think of a warden tech?
Maybe like a Shield Crush something. Shield Crush was already like a little bit decent. I always like that Shield Charge, Shield Crush shit. That was fun.
Hmm. Would like bleed? You're going bleed?
But I have no clue.
Okay.
I read the patch notes, went to sleep. I tried to calm my mind so much because I was like, I have to wake up
Yeah.
early. There's the podcast.
Yeah.
Like I
sorry
need to
about
just go to
that.
bed. Do not let your mind race.
By the way, Chad, Tripo woke up for us at like 7 a.m. So
Badass.
Hey, I'm doing
Damn.
better, okay? I'm trying to get up
Exactly.
early. It's nice. It's nice.
Big.
Do you know
No more waking up at noon.
There is a small part of me that is like Explosive Arrow Elementalist is not nerfed. Well, at least not nerfed a lot.
It actually got buffed.
And
It got
yeah,
buffed.
and running Sanctum. So last league when I played trade, I kept ending up trading repeatedly with the same dude, and he was playing Elementalist EA. And I was like, every time I traded with him, he was in Sanctum. He was level 98, and I was like, man, you're always in Sanctum. And he was like, yeah, I haven't finished the campaign yet. And he had made, I think it was like day 4 or something, and he had made over 400 divines. So he literally
Yeah.
just did Sanctum, nothing else.
Yes, sir.
Especially with Sandstorm Massage and stuff being so buffed, like doing that at league start, making like 300-400 divines by day 2 sounds really nice. And I don't know what melee builds I'm comfortable running Sanctum on, like 83 Sanctums on day 1.
none, unfortunately. Unless
But I'm
maybe
most
last
likely
year,
doing SST.
like you
Yeah.
can like shoot out.
True.
The thing about Sanctum that's really strange is like it's almost like you can completely break the rules. Like the characters that excel in Sanctum don't necessarily need to have the same kind of
Defense.
like defenses, yeah, that you would do in the main game. Exactly. Now yeah, sure, like you have some guards that hit you pretty hard, but it's not like it's nowhere near the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The difference is even greater now with like tier 17s and whatnot. Like it's even more pronounced. Before it was
Yeah.
kind of like, yeah, but now it's, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I do think I'll get lynched if I play EA again though, so I'll probably do melee.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it
trying
did
not
get
to
buffed,
like think
though.
of corrupting fever. It's
Like the
well, champ got
the-
nerfed. Maybe we can do something else somewhere else. Like, no.
the position of the ballista cluster now being way closer is actually incredible. Plus, you don't have to like all the good stuff is now in one notable, so you can just anoint that, and you don't even have to go down to the cluster at all. It's
Yeah.
like you probably save like 8 points, which for the elementalist
are
was even
squishy.
bigger of a deal. Sorry, what?
The scary thing about ballistas is that like Ironwood got nerfed to shit, so like they're much squishier.
For
Yeah.
EA, it doesn't matter because you're up at the ancestral bond anyways, and the 2 small nodes have res.
Yeah. Okay.
I think
Do you
it
run-
still matters though.
Do you run Purity
sure,
of
it
Elements
does.
on
It does.
EA Elementalist now? Because I think like if
Yeah,
you
maybe.
had PoE, like you could maybe your totems would be like tankier since they have more res, but I think without PoE it's like a bit,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Let's see
I
what
don't
tier
know.
17s are like.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think like we should be too worried about T17s because it does seem like the price of them will be dictated by the Uber fragments, especially since like yeah they removed like some of the diff cards and Progenesis is gonna be completely broken. So I do think like also the reason why they were so absurdly like crazy last league was back to basics plus all flames, right? Like all the abuse cases actually emerged from all flames. And if you take all flames and back to basics out, it's kind of like the only thing that's left is barrels, and they remove barrels.
Well, they're still strictly better and easier now, right? So like
Yeah,
it's still
but
gonna
like
end there.
layout wise,
Sure.
like killing
yeah.
a breach inside like
Yeah.
a T17 is much worse than killing a breach in a T16. That's
But I don't
open.
know if that's gonna like be a detriment to tier 17s as much as be a detriment to breach and legion and stuff.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what
I
I mean?
agree. Like I'm mega
Yeah.
coping because if I have to do T17s again for the entire league, like I will just go SSF and never play like trade again. That's because I
What if you
hate the
only-
T17 economy.
It does seem like
personally.
it does seem like that was the way to go. Like talking with Ventura Yeah, it seemed like he was like, yeah, T17s are no problem. You just go in there and it's kind of like a fun zone every once in a while. I was like,
Yeah,
God,
you're
that
like,
sounds so
"Woo."
nice. Like, what the
But
hell?
for us, it was like either you're doing T17 or you're slave to the T17 farmers. And that was
Yeah,
like,
you're
that's the
farming the
entire
maps or you're
dynamic.
farming the maps.
Yeah. Or you're getting farmed. Because like you can't really do it either efficiently. Which is like, unfortunately, some people. But they are adding back quantity to league mechanic monsters. So doing like league mechanics is gonna be like much better, right?
That seemed really interesting. Yeah, they're like, hey, if you're interacting with this and the monsters are powerful and it kind of takes a long time, we're gonna make it a lot better. Like, okay, I'll eat that up. Like, thank you.
Ultimatum
Yeah,
has
they
loot
did
again.
I love all
Ultimatum
the passes they did.
Ultimatum was already insane last league.
Yeah,
Very
it
hard
was already
content
really
with the
good.
passives, but now it's like, I think I'm maybe I'm coping, but I think the groups are gonna be doing ultimatum. That's what they'll do. Since like groups are completely nerfed to shit, like no more quant multiplicative with group quant and all that kind of stuff. Ultimatum literally gives everyone in the group like one reward, and inscribed ultimatums are like insane amount of money per hour. And already last league, like a 2-man party doing ultimatum, we're making like 25 div an hour of raw divines from inscribed ultimatums. So, I mean, it's pretty good money.
Mm-hmm.
Like not
I'll wait
compared
on
to
the
like
snap
obviously
video.
like the abuse cases, but yeah.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of ways to make money. I was really considering if I don't want to do sanctums, what I could do, it could be like spamming blights early. Like, so much money early in blight. Everybody needs oils, and there's going to be so many new anoints this league. The prismatic oils are probably going to be worth a lot. I don't know if they're going to be rarer or more common than gold oil.
They're definitely going to be wanted, especially the 40% further away. Like, it depends on how many prismatic oils we need as well. Do we know that, by the way? How many? Just one each?
I mean, it could be like 2 prismatic oils.
There was
2?
an anoint that took 3 prismatics.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah. From what
What was that?
if the picture was correct, then it was 3 inscribed. Somebody sent it to me on
Jesus.
Discord, I think, or was it in Twitch chat? Maybe I still have the thing open. Let me look for it.
Oh, Blight
Right, here
Radish
it is.
maps drop double anointed things too.
That is
Like, that's a
interesting.
fun little, crafting based thing.
Yeah.
Recombinate that
Yeah.
onto something, whatever.
And I don't know if this is correct or not, but it sounded like we were getting drop only mods now.
Wait, what do you mean?
What do you mean by that?
Like a higher life roll that like is drop only, similar to incursion.
Oh,
Because like
really?
if you looked at the new fossil, that also said something about like the new fossil says something about drop only mods. So I'm assuming that they've done a similar system to tier 6 and tier 7 from last epoch.
Yeah.
It could be just from the gambler, but I would just I don't know.
Okay. I missed
That's
that.
interesting. I didn't think about that either. Imagine if Delve is back. Yo.
That would be fun.
Can I unretire now?
And I really do think like Path of Exile would benefit so much from drop only mods. Maybe like a little bit less rares dropping than being better on average and having drop only stuff, because like it is kind of sad to filter out every single fucking thing that drops.
Yeah.
Like it's weird that we can't get 30 quality anymore. Unless we drop the base. It means it's kind of weird.
Like, ugh.
Yeah. I don't like that change.
No fossils, no
That will make a bit of a
bestiary.
chase though for those bases.
Sure, but it might also discard a lot of loot that you would have otherwise maybe picked up on SSF or something, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be a base hunt.
That's true.
And they hit up ritual too. That looks a little bit neat as well. I love just like the pass on everything. I hope delirium mirrors are good again. That would be kind of fun. I like doing that farm for a little bit there with simulacrums getting buffed. We'll see.
Yeah.
Also, Cleave of Rage was apparently an oversight. They already added it, right? Cleave of Rage also gets the buff. Yep.
Yeah. I am a little bit worried about Ritual. I feel like they never take into account that you're like hard throttled on how fast you can do them. Like a Ritual is always that speed. So if you are a fast, like it's almost like the worse you are as a player, the better Ritual is. Like if you're actually like have a fast build and you're blasting, then Ritual is like you're inting by doing it, and that doesn't necessarily feel good. It's not necessarily a problem, but
I think it depends on the build. For example, if you're on Spark, it's like every stage is done in like 3-4 seconds. You just stand in the middle and it's just over. So I think it's
Yeah.
fine. Also, maybe they added some of the stuff that they talked about when they removed Quant onto Ritual. That would be nice as well, because like you said,
Yeah.
it does take quite a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they disclose all the rewards from Ritual? I don't think so, right? Because there's still like some
No.
Probably
intrigue, like
more.
slash surprise. That's yeah. It might be. I don't know. It feels like they've been trying to buff Ritual more and more, but I think Ritual sucks.
I don't like doing
Yeah,
it.
I tried doing it last thing.
Yeah, it sucks.
I always do all of them, and then I forget to check the event.
Bro, every time.
That too. That too. I so often leave without checking, and I'm like, oh,
Oh no. I
Very
even tell chat
forgettable
like,
mechanic.
yo, remind me at the end of this map. And then I go out and I open a new map and someone types, did you open a Ritual? It's like, bro.
It's Metamorph all over again. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
I'm so glad we don't have Metamorph anymore.
You are
The
really?
mechanics suck.
Yeah, I hated it. Least
I didn't
favorite
like it
mechanic.
either.
Really? I kind of liked it.
I have PTSD from when it was first introduced in hardcore. It's the league I died the most. It was like 13
I bet.
deaths.
Yeah, just
I
summoning
died on like an
Exodia.
18k ES character. I got one shot. I was like, oh, cool.
So you didn't like picking up organs in week 1?
Oh, that was so bad. I couldn't believe
I just
that.
refused.
Like, I couldn't believe that went live. I was like,
I protested it. It's like,
What?
I'm not touching a single organ. Fuck you. Change this now.
that was bad.
I remember like self curse was still a thing in Metamorph, and I died on like a self curse character with like 200k ES. Like I just
That's
like
hilarious.
I killed a Metamorph and I just died. It's like I was like,
Was
what?
it the burning ground that was so crazy? Was that?
It must have been
can't
DD.
remember.
I have no idea what happened.
Oh,
but
okay.
Yeah.
it had to have been
Yeah.
DD.
There were a lot of things. So remember like the small black spiders that would like follow you as well, like volatiles, but they each did
Ugh.
like 3 or 4k damage and there would be 20 of them. I was like, okay, cool. And then like the barrages were insane, like the blood barrage, necro barrage. They were like, okay, here's a list
Yeah,
of things
yeah.
you can't do on hardcore. Any of it.
All right, maybe it's
Any
fine. I
of
got
it.
Okay. I'll concede.
The mechanics like that they reworked though, like Blight as well. Blight looks very good. I think.
Yeah.
I think Blight like just like I said, like the double anoint will definitely be a chase item for sure. Like people are gonna live
Yeah.
search like their 2 favorite anoints and then try to fracture them. I don't know if this was like sneaked by, but apparently the recipe to get rid of fractures was a bug. Did I read
Yeah,
that
it was
I don't
correctly?
removed. It's in the
Yeah.
bug fixes.
Yeah, it's removed. That's actually a
was
big
kinda
deal
crazy.
for. Wait, what was it used for? Cluster jewels? Was it?
It was
cluster?
used for
Bombs,
like
everything.
fracturing +2 bows that had like
Oh yeah, that as well. Oh, helical
Yeah.
rings. Yeah, helical rings.
helical
Yeah, true.
rings. So
Oh,
now that
yeah.
you get like a double anoint implicit perfect amulet, and you're like you need to fracture because otherwise like crafting is insane. Either that or you
Yeah.
recomb
Yeah.
it. So you're gonna miss the fracture, and then you have
Oh.
to find another one with the same annoyance.
Just buy another helical. Just buy 4 on average, right?
Yeah,
let's
just
go.
buy another helical, bro.
So,
True.
how much do you think like the what are they called, simplex and something else amulet? Like, how much do you think they're gonna be this thing? Because now you can get a +8 amulet with Kalandra.
True. But
Oh,
the
I
MF
was
boy.
thinking
cucks are
about
gone.
that. You can do that, right? That's crazy.
Yeah, but all the MF cucks are like not gonna buy it anymore. And I think
That's
they
true.
like
+8?
really increased. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Good
Actually.
heist.
The
Boys.
reflective mist is gonna be so broken.
So you're talking focused, right? Focused is buffed. Simplex
Yeah.
is kind of nerfed. Yeah.
Yeah. Focus
Yeah.
amulet is gonna be like 800, 1200 divines on softcore.
And the cool
It
thing
was
about it
400 divines, right?
though, this league it was like about like depends when you play it, of course, but like early on it was like 200, and
That's
then went up to
crazy.
300, so on and so forth. But the cool thing
Do we
about
know-
that, you can't mirror a mirrored item. So like if you do make a +8, it's unique and like nobody can
Yeah.
have it, and it's yours.
Yeah.
Like that's the cool thing about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be insane, and like just so many cool amulets with focus. And,
Yeah.
and
Talking
simplex.
about levels, do we know, by the way, if attack skills are gonna scale damage effectiveness above level 20? Is it just like a leveling change, or are they now good with level scaling in general?
Dude, they gotta
we
be,
know?
right?
No, it will
They
go
gotta
up. Yeah.
be.
Yeah,
That's
That's
why they
their-
removed
that's
a
what they
lot
wanted,
of the fizz tags from all the gems, right? I assume that's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Oh, true. Yeah, they don't want people doing +1 fist amulet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean 21
Oh,
gem
plus
will be
8
really
fizz
nice.
amulets.
The reflective
Yeah.
mist thing is also interesting because um just came to mind, but like for example, Impending Doom was kind of like shitty because you couldn't get enough curse AoE, but with the Delve curse AoE rings, you just reflective mist it, and you just have like huge Impending Dooms now. So you can actually play Impending Doom quite easily now.
Wait, really? You think you'll
You
still
can
be able to
also-
get it off on the first cast?
Yeah, like because the thing that was like making it so that you couldn't was the fact that you couldn't get enough curse AoE. But I think if you reflective mist even just one ring now, you can do it.
Hmm.
You can also get reduced proc speed again, right?
I'm
Yeah, you can get
arriving.
reduced proj speed. Yeah, it won't be like a league starter, but I think as a second build, I think Impending Doom is like back on the menu because of reflecting mists.
Gonna be rough for hardcore because like before I would do the Fist is elite tank and be like really really tanky. Now it's like so hard to get tanky
Yeah.
hardcore.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but to be fair, like, I think you can get 80% still viably, right? Like 50% from coil, 20% from the shield, and then I think 10% you can squeeze out somewhere like shortly, like maybe like Helm
True, we have
enchant,
Dawnbreaker.
Eldritch enchant. So you get like 80% and like endurance charges, and it's gonna be fine. Like I was planning like like making like bouncing concoction league starter thing, and
Wait, how do you get more than 70?
because it's like I think Eldritch implicit. It was not in the
I
patch
do that with
notes.
coil.
And the
Mhm.
helmet.
On the helmet, yeah,
And then you can corrupt Dawnbreaker for another,
for
what is
extra
it, 8?
7%.
Corruptions are
8%, yeah.
removed.
Oh, they did remove the corruptions.
Are
Right?
they?
Yeah.
I didn't see that
Oh.
one.
Oops.
They must have
Dude,
removed
it
Eldritch
was so
implicits,
crazy.
right?
They even got rid of the timeless jewel. Like,
Yeah,
really?
yeah,
When
yeah.
I'm getting
Yeah.
like 2 notable timeless jewels, you're gonna take that away too? Like, come on.
They
Yeah,
did leave Darkscorn though, which is kind of interesting for some
Ooh, yeah.
archetypes. At least I didn't see it. Yeah, 25%.
Yeah.
Darkscorn is
That's
good.
kind
Yeah.
of fun. It's kind of rare.
Yeah.
And it got buffed by the quality changes. So
Yeah. Yeah, the quality change is going to be huge. It was funny that they nerfed all the experimental bases with like 70 quality. I was like, yeah, that's fair.
yeah, we know.
Oh. Yeah, no, it'll be really interesting to see like what they didn't think about that we can abuse because it's like, like yeah, they have a lot of people with a lot of hours, but like we have infinite people with a lot of hours. It's like they're fucked.
There's gonna be a lot of broken stuff. Yeah, especially with
Yeah.
that Val soul game prevention.
Mm-hmm.
It's
We'll
gonna be
see
very
some
spicy.
pretty
Yeah,
expensive
even
hate
like
forges.
the axe trigger seems like it could be crazy as well. Like, there's so much wild shit.
Oh yeah, the fire one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
And it's just on hit. Like,
God.
you just hit with anything. Like, okay.
And you can make like a 12 link or something with that. That's actually brutal.
Mhm.
Is it only on X? Did we see?
Yeah, I think it's only one hand axe.
Okay,
Really?
we'll have to check what if there's good caster supports like on the Elder Shaper. I'm actually not sure.
How do you guys think the auction house is gonna affect how you guys play the game on softcore?
It's gonna be huge. Now they didn't really like specify exactly how we're gonna be listing things because that's like the main concern. Is the main concern for me is always like if you want to like price check an entire tab, that's not easy, right? And that's where like like external tools would make it so much easier. So that's the only thing that I'm a little bit still confused
Yeah,
about. But
I still, yeah, I think there will be room for like trading websites still for like selling packages and some things in large bulk, but it'll be huge though.
I think it completely depends on how much gold we get. That's and how much
True.
it
Yeah,
costs.
it's all about the balancing.
Do you think
I
it'll
hope
cost
it's
gold both to
plentiful.
list and to buy, or just for one?
Just to buy, right? I think.
I think just to buy
Yeah.
Hmm. Oh, really? That's really nice. Okay.
yeah
I would imagine
Um,
both.
Even
Both?
People are saying in my chat, people are saying it's both.
Both.
I would also
Oh.
imagine both.
yeah, that's what I thought.
It showed 200 gold to list,
Ooh, okay. That changes a little bit.
and I think that's the way it should be.
Okay.
I mean, it's just gonna be like so nice when I run out of chromes or some stupid currency, and I don't have to like go to trade and like scroll past all the people that want to sell 10,000 in one window. You know, it's like I don't need that. I just need to, I just need some probes.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
whatever it is, ball orbs, like all the catalysts, everything, man. It's gonna be so nice. Just like
We're still gonna do a lot of
I just
bulk
buy it.
trading, right? For bulk stuff, there's still gonna be normal trade,
Yeah.
but especially for the small things, like you're missing 2 catalysts or something, or
Yeah.
you're missing this or that. You're missing that one diff card.
nice.
I think they said diff
Because
cards as
nobody's
well.
selling 2 catalysts,
cards
right? I had
too, yeah.
catalysts.
Everything
That's a
that's
game
specs
changer.
is on there.
Yeah.
Omens as
Oils
well.
if it's
That's
on
like
there,
one
right? Like
small thing. Like you
Yeah.
never buy
Oils
omens,
too?
but now you can.
Yeah.
buy that sepia oil.
Wait, were scarabs on there too?
Yeah, of course. Like
Wow,
anything
that's-
stackable is on
okay.
there.
Jesus.
The
Okay.
hardcore trade market is going to be so interesting because it's so small.
Ooh.
And in the past, I've done a lot of market PvP, right? Like that's what I was the richest person on my server in World of Warcraft because like I would just buy Dreamfoil at 5 gold, relist it at 20. I'm
Like the Devil Sword Mafia.
oh god, is like market PvP Zizern coming back?
So good.
The Devil Sword Mafia.
It's so hard to do while streaming though. That's the big problem. I'll just do it off stream, make a video. It's like, so this is how I made 600 divines in 20 minutes.
I think free market is like really fun, honestly. But it
it's
is
fun
like
if you're
super
doing it.
abusable and
Yeah, it's fun when you're on top.
it's super abusable and like things with like low stock. That's the thing that's scary. Like
Yeah,
tempering
yeah.
orbs, fracturing orbs.
Yeah, like one dude being able to just
holy
boom,
dude.
wipe everything out, right?
I mean,
like,
there's gonna be like I mean in softcore we kind of suffer from the the ones who shall not be named. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna come through and just shit all over the economy in those markets, I think. With,
It is gonna be
how little
really
friction there
interesting.
will be.
The
Especially
hardcore
late in the
trade economy
league.
is so fun.
Yeah, late in the league when people have so many listed things that they don't want to sell anymore because they didn't unprice it. This is also gonna be super nice, right?
mm-hmm.
I wonder if they unlist like after a certain amount of time. Did Mark said that there's gonna be like he's gonna make like a video on Monday about how it works.
Ooh,
Yeah.
true.
Oh yeah.
I
yeah.
really hope that there's like guide prices that you don't have to like individually price everything, because then it's like actually
So-
insane.
He did address that already. He said, unless you're the first person listing something, there will be like suggestions. But like, yeah, at the start of the league, it'll just be there will be a lot of mispriced items at start. And
Mhm.
we are streamers gonna have like so many people in the show like, no, I just sold 100 deafening woes for 1C. Like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no! I
Everyone's
just
just
bought
gonna have
100
like
deafening for
GE
one
buy
C.
offers. Yeah. Like whoever gets to put their like
sucks.
cheap divine snipes up first gets, all the mislisted.
Yeah.
That'd be so silly.
Are there buy orders?
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope
there
it's
are,
like
right?
the GE in RuneScape. I think that's exactly how it works from what I
Yeah,
saw.
that's what your purchasing thing is. It's just a
Yeah.
buy order that's connected to a sell order.
Right.
It's just like straight up the GE.
I'm so excited, dude. Maybe I'll like hire like some sort of market expert to come on my stream and like
Oh.
explain shit and
Yo, Path of Math is a day trader.
maybe not that guy.
I mean, yeah, I think that's like the reason why I don't want to play SSF. And I was gonna play SSF. So
I was also gonna play SSF this league because I've played 2 leagues of trade. Well, I think I did Bro SF with Steel and then Trade League. I can't remember, but I've really been enjoying hardcore trade. But I was like, let's go back to SSF this league. Hopefully there'll be a new boss kill race and we'll do that. But then this league feels like criminal to not play trade.
For real.
How big are these boat expeditions where you get like bubblegum currency back and whatnot for SSF? Those are big,
They
right?
do look really nice. They do
Yeah.
look really nice for sure.
You can hide a lot more from your filter, probably.
Yeah, but it's like finally we have trade. It's kind of legal.
Yeah, true.
Mm-hmm.
they didn't show any loot from the sending your boys out to map.
No, I really
They
wonder
didn't
what that's gonna be like.
Yeah.
They better pick up some portal scrolls, is what I'm saying.
It would be really funny, like if like this is what we picked up and this is what was left behind, and you see a mage
Oh,
blood, and it's like
no.
you fucking morons.
Oof. But they come back with a corrupted like belt that looks like a headhunter, right? Something like that.
Headhunter is like a 2 div belt, bro. Please.
It's really funny because the mechanic, like I've always been saying, this is what PoE Mobile should be. I think like I'm not a big fan of ARPGs on a phone, right? They're like clunky and unwieldy to play. But like a management game where you gear up exiles and send them out to farm for you and stuff, that would be really cool as a mobile game.
Yeah, for real. There's so much potential with this. Well, and like, so with the running their own map stuff too, they mentioned that you can put like Shaper Guardians or whatever in there. So we can like have them farm our fragments. That's really cool because waiting for Elder Guardians is so annoying. I'll just make some slave do it for me. Or maybe
Yeah.
you can add like enchanted maps, right? With like area contains blight, and then they can farm blight maps
They
for
do
you or
the
something,
blight,
right? Like, yeah, like isn't that's fucking cool as
That
hell,
sounds
man? Like,
really nice.
it's gonna be a lot of there's gonna be a lot of uses for those enchanted maps now.
But how
Tier
are they gonna?
17s on hardcore.
How does that work
Just-
coding wise though? Wouldn't they just? Isn't it probably just gonna be you put in a map and you get like a set amount of rewards or something, and it kind of feels like they ran the map. It's not gonna
Yeah.
be
Yeah,
actually.
they're,
It's
like,
gonna calculate
simulating
the
it.
map, and then you get that. Like, I can't see it anyways.
I don't know, but it's also like I think it'll like it won't be affected by your atlas. It won't be affected by any juice, probably, right? So you're just putting in a map
You
and
can't do
running it.
scarabs, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah.
that balances it quite a lot alone.
Yeah.
But you
Fair
can
enough.
queue up like 10 maps and go offline. On
Yeah,
each of the
and
devices,
there's
and there's
multiple.
3.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so weird, man.
See, like
Very
I
weird.
do wish, and they did talk about this. I do wish that you could gear them and go really hard on it, but also I don't want another that convoluted mechanic. So
Mhm. Yeah, I do appreciate them not doing that. I
Yeah,
like that they mentioned they're like, yeah, we were gonna have it. You could craft our gear and do whatever. And it's like, okay, too much.
yeah.
Thank you.
After I have PTSD from last league, I gave the last league a 5 out of 10. I was like, this is not fun.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Dude, I
I
played
wonder if you can put
Bloodborne
like
so
cortexes
fast.
in. I wonder if you can put like cortexes in or something.
Oh wow.
Mm.
Yeah, it'll be interesting what they get, like boss drops and like what they don't pick up. Like, do they pick up
Yeah.
everything? Like, imagine if you
I
could
don't
put
have
in shapers.
expectations. It seems like it's just gonna be like random stuff. Like, do they
Can we kick
respect
this
your
guy
loot
from the call?
filter?
He's such
I mean, bro,
he's such a
like
hater.
think about it. Like, what are they gonna pick up?
What if they just record every map run every player does, and then they just randomize it, and everybody gets the run from the other one and stuff?
Oh
you know?
Jesus!
Yeah. There you go.
I want to
My
get pub
character's on
guns
the FUB
maps.
seed.
Yeah,
I'm on the
Yeah,
FUB
get
seed.
pub gun. Yeah.
Can I get that one? Oh boy. Yeah, that's I don't know, man. That's the biggest question mark of the reveal. Those maps. But definitely the coolest thing is the character building potential, because the mechanic itself just looks like it just lends itself to just allowing you to make cool builds, which I think it's like the coolest thing about PoE, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
I look forward to that for sure.
that's like the most excited I've ever been for a league. I think.
Yeah, they just kept like pulling new stuff out. It just kept coming. And at the end, it was so funny. Before they went to the Q&A, they're like, and we have one more thing before we head over to the Ziggy D Q&A. And I was like, there's more. But it was just like, sign up for Path of Exile 2 beta. I was like, oh my, okay.
Oh yeah.
all
Thanks
right.
for reminding. Oops.
So I thought they were going to do something like this. I wonder if that's streamable, because one thing I really don't like that Diablo 4 and a lot of games have been coming out like fully solved. I hate it when it's like, you know, like a game has a closed beta and like, it's like, hi, Cicerin here with another video. I have already played 2,000 hours of PoE 2, even though it's not out yet. Here's everything you need to know, all the best builds, how to finish the game. It's like, I'd rather we just all go in blind. Like,
Yep.
it ruins hype. So I'm really worried about that.
100%.
And it's like,
It
it's so
seems like-
stupid. Like, you can't really say no as a content creator, but
Yeah.
I don't want to be offered in the
Yeah.
first place.
But you'll just have to do it. I do wonder if like their plan to counter that is the fact that like they just want the base game to be good, but I suspect when PoE launches, like PoE 2, it'll launch with a league, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it seems like not all the content's going to be there. Like, not every class is going to be usable. Not every boss is going to be like in the game. Maybe they stop at some tier of maps or whatever. Like, it doesn't seem like it's the full game anymore. But
Well,
I always took the beta as like our PoE2 launch. Like that's when the game launches for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other side of the medal, though, we still have to remember that some leagues come out pretty unfinished, right? And they get fixed during the first few weeks. So that is also something like an upside. That if a lot of people test it, those easy quote unquote mistakes are not going to happen because you tested against a million players.
But like, I think everybody is imagining that the beta will be a bit of a mess, and that is what the big beta that is streamable is for.
Yeah, I do prefer that as well. Yeah, just a mess that you kind of have to figure out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we don't know much about it. I'm definitely going to ask you about it. That was actually one of the questions I tried to get in through Ziggy, but there was so many questions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I suspect also like they're probably gonna be holding like a lot of more PoE2 stuff with like PAX. What was it? Gamescom was coming. And PAX as well. I think there we're gonna know like. Yeah, I thought about it too. It's like pretty close by. I think like we're gonna know a lot more, and that's really soon too.
Yeah,
Gamescom
and
is,
I like
month.
what they've been doing with like the LA event, or even like inviting a streamer to like. I think they should invite streamers to do like play some PoE2 while talking to a dev and like asking about things, but like very limited things to just drive hype and tease. I just don't like when people have like unlimited access to just like min-max stuff and play countless
like
hours.
solving the game before it's out.
Yeah,
that was for me the biggest disappointment with D4 release. That it just felt like I was like a tourist coming in because I wasn't like it's like I wasn't playing the early access, or not early access, but like the betas, the closed beta, endgame betas, and everyone had already played like hundreds of, like even in some cases like 1,000 hours, right?
Yeah.
There's
like,
also
here's
the
my
hyper
experience,
moved
1,000 hours into Diablo 4. It's like, dude, the game comes out in like 3 days. What are you talking about?
There's also a lot of hyper moved because like the Reddit threads where people post the new uniques or like something new that we haven't seen in the patch notes is always like one of the best things, I feel like.
Yeah, like back in the day when before data mining and stuff, like the patch notes used to be super vague. Like sometimes it would just say like added 6 new unique items or 10 new unique items, and we had no idea what they were. And people would be like, "I found a new unique." It's like, no, that was just trash. No man, it's not new. And stuff like that. It's so cool. Or like one of the early Path of Exile leaks were called Dark Shrine, and you would sacrifice an item and it would pick from a random set of modifiers what it did, and we had no idea. We'd be like, dude, I found this crazy thing. And I remember a month into the league, me and Carve, we were like, wonder if you can put maps in it. I put in a rare map and the game just froze for like 10 seconds, and the text was, careful now. And we were like, what just happened to our map? We were like, what, is there like 10 Aziris running around, or like what's happening? But it was just like added 100% increased fire damage to everything in the map. But it's like, I love that like community discoverability thing.
Yeah.
Also, patch note used to come out 2 days before it, so.
Yeah.
That sucked.
Yeah, imagine this patch note 2 days before.
I'm grateful. I'm way more grateful about how it is now, man.
Yeah. 100%.
Hey, especially as a content creator.
Yeah. 2 days is not enough.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be hectic. At least now we've had a big shakeup of the early meta. I feel like it's been what, like 5 leagues, 6 leagues, where all the league starters like have been very, very same. Now it's pretty different.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Not the same top 10 video anymore.
Yeah. To be fair, they have been doing a really good job with like the more endgame builds being very different, even the last 3 or 4 patches. So
yeah, endgame has been pretty good for sure.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to like recommend to somebody like what melee build to play, like because there's a lot of people that are like looking at melee, and since so many people have not actually played it in so long, right? If you were to like recommend to somebody like what to play, what would it be?
Thunder's gonna be really easy, I think.
So depends on how many buttons you want to press.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You think like the button problem? Just because like I feel like war cries themselves are, I don't know.
I feel like war cries have such a strong effect, or a lot of them are so strong now that you don't want to automate them all. So yeah. I feel like you're gonna press a lot of them because you lose the buff effect if you automate it, right? So
the automation sucks. Like it's terrible.
I wish they had kept call to arms, honestly.
I don't know. Yeah,
they removed
come
on.
That sucks.
Yeah. Otherwise, I mean, melee builds. I honestly think that the way they made it, you can even play stuff like Cyclone now, and you're not gonna do
Mhm. True.
bad.
Yeah,
Badly.
like Cyclone, Shockwave. You know, they
Yeah.
buff both of them.
Yeah, that looks really
They're all
nice.
right. Yeah.
Static Strike Shockwave as well. I think that's gonna be
Dude,
really
yeah.
good.
Hitting up Static Strike is kind of crazy.
Honestly, there is some melee transfigure gems that are pretty unexplored that I think are pretty broken. So that weren't really explored until now because it wasn't really worth it. And then obviously, like the obvious ones, like dual strike of ambidexterity as well.
Mm.
So I think it's not just going to be slams. I am pretty happy that they didn't just buff melee by buffing only war cries. They buffed it in a lot of like ways, which is really really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. It would be nice to have a spin to win league. Like Cyclone's just so
Yeah.
fun.
It is.
I just think they kind of destroyed Cyclone the league before, where they took away the stages and put it on the shitty one, right? Like on the slow one.
True.
That's kind of a rough one.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
That's true. It's also like a thing that's really nice. I feel like melee weapons is just more fun to craft and just like it's just more fun in general than like spells.
I
It's
agree.
definitely, yeah.
I think as a playstyle as well, I personally think mana should be like deleted from video gaming. So like melee is like so nice where you don't have to like worry about that shit. You just like right click and then
Now you do.
leech. I mean with mana burn you mean, or
No, just like everything got like way higher mana cost.
yeah, but
And
at
we
least you
did
got
get more-
leech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you
Like
just
you can-
take one of those mana clusters and you just take the 12 mana reservation, get it as a payoff, right? And it's not going to be that big of a deal, probably.
Yeah.
Plus,
think
the
so.
helmet is still there, right? Like the reduced mana cost on helmet, I think, still there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the 20 like it rolls to like 30%.
Blue one.
Inspiration got destroyed, though.
Yeah, that was
how
kind of
impactful
crazy.
is that?
So many
I
sneaky
mean,
little things there.
for spellcast, it's pretty rough.
I think spellcasters are giga doomed. Honestly.
And EB builds lost an aura, so I
Yeah.
mean,
I think
It's rough out there.
non Archmage got like a giga doomed actually. Like Archmage obviously
Crazy.
lost like the blessing, but they could still play the game, right?
yeah.
To be fair though, it does end up balancing itself out a little bit because anything that gets nerfed gets buffed in the form of the economy because people will play it less. You'll end up getting
Yeah.
30-40% stronger gear for way cheaper. So there's been a lot of leagues where people have been like, wasn't that nerfed? Yeah, I'm like, yeah, but I was able to get like +2 perfect amulet with 90 life and 30 dot multi for like 20C. So sure, yeah, I got nerfed, but a perfect gear for like 2 divines now.
Yeah, League Start definitely matters, but then it kind of tapers off over time, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Apparently,
hit up,
Rude True is saying DD is stronger than ever.
Shut up.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
No, he was cooking like with the axe trigger. He's like, I'll just cast Unearth, and then the axe trigger will
Yes, a lot
proc
of
the
people have
DD
been
and all
saying
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh god.
it's
Maybe he's
crazy.
right.
They nerfed hatred too.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
more cold on it.
Herald of
so
Ash,
it's just
yeah.
the Fizz is
Herald
extra.
of Ash as well.
Yeah. So many little
I mean-
little dinks to casters.
They kind of like buffed those auras for like, so Herald of Ash is kind of buffed specifically for like attack builds because it just gets more Fizzes extra and it's no longer
Yep.
more spell damage. And Hatred got buffed for ignite builds. So I mean there could be something there, you know?
Interesting.
There could be
Mhm.
something there, yeah.
Like, Fizz-based Ignite.
You know,
Mhm.
what I really want to try at some point in the league, I don't know if you saw the increased duration change on the gem, but like that sounds really fun
Oh,
with like
yeah.
the element earthquake and you make it like take like 20 seconds to slam and then you just
Oh,
one-shot
God.
bosses.
Oh.
Just like, oh,
But
dead. Oh, you're right.
that sounds like fun.
Yeah, that is an interesting one because for builds that don't scale any increased duration, it's actually a nerf, right? So,
Yep.
gonna be interesting for like Cosmo Never Mistaken setups and whatnot.
Yeah. And then you do Sunder for clearing or something.
I just want to play Bleed Earthquake. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm baiting
Bleed's
myself,
gonna be
but it sounds
sick.
so cool.
It does.
Still
It
thinking
feels
about
like,
Blade Earthquake.
Yeah,
Yeah, like Bleed
it's so
Earthquake,
cool.
Bleed Lacerate sounds kind of fun.
I'm in
You
between
just
that
do
and
like
Lightning
generic
Strike.
fucking Earth Shatters.
Yeah, and like had they giga buffed, like what is it? Bone Shatter, bro. Like that shit's insane. It's like it was
Bone
already
Shatter
insane.
didn't get nerfed didn't get buffed that much. According to Karn, it got
Yeah.
nerfed.
I mean, Slayer got a bit nerfed because of the overleech, but the gem itself definitely got buffed. Wait, let me see.
A lot less
Bone
than most things
Shatter-
did.
Yeah, it was less than most, but
I mean, it's 60% more.
See, I think it's at the bottom of the list. It's 2.25. Oh no, it's not too bad, I guess.
It's really good.
Oh wait, no, that's of Carnage. Oh yeah, Bone Shatter is at the bottom of the list at 1.35 buff. Whereas
so that
Pestilence
Oh,
Strike is
shit.
2.95.
Did I get
relative
baited by
buff.
Of Carnage? Oh no. I got baited by Of
Carnage.
Carnage. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
and it's also like a
Oh,
huge
it's-
attack speed nerf.
yeah,
And mana is different. So I don't know. I do think like Bone Shatter's reign as king of melee is
Yeah.
probably ended. I don't know for sure, and like
Mhm.
people always find crazy shit, but like there does look like a lot of new interesting stuff. I think
the new
dual
bonk-
strike and double strike are gonna be fucking crazy.
I think the new bonk is gonna be Viper Strike of the Mamba. That's gonna be the real bonk.
That was super good because of tinctures, right? So it'll depend on that.
Still, that's pretty good. Got like what,
I
250?
did get one of
times
the biggest
2.5?
buffs. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
2.5.
Yep.
There's I'll link it to because some of your chats might not have seen it, but somebody already did the math on like what were the actual buffs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Has
we
a
saw
Yeah,
really,
like
really
the
good list.
spreadsheet
The
thing,
Reddit
yeah.
thread.
I'm like
Because a lot of them
looking
lost
through it right now.
flat. So for example, the
Yeah,
worst
yeah.
thing is Rage Vortex of Berserking got a 1.12 buff.
Yeah, I
He
saw
got
that. I was
screwed.
like, damn. Yeah, I was really excited for some Rage Vortex buffs because it was already,
Rage
it already
Vortex
looked
of
like
Berserking got
decent enough.
nerfed, actually.
Yeah,
And Berserker got completely shat on too.
yeah, that was wild
And
to
Jug.
lose that 50 exert attack.
Yeah.
Jug got ruined.
Yeah, what the fuck happened to Jug? It's just like you
I
get shitty
didn't feel
fourth
like that was
vow.
needed.
Like what the hell?
Yeah. Fourth vow will be really good this league.
Yeah, fourth valve's
Yeah,
broken.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
they removed the mastery as well, right? Like the armor.
yeah, both of them.
Yes, mastery.
The 10 fizz
Mm.
shift and armor as chaos.
Damn.
Wait, Scion Jug is absolutely awful now as well. Yeah, Scion Jug is absolutely. Wait, was it this bad before? Wait, hang on. Okay. No, it was bad before as well. Never mind. I haven't looked at Scion Jug in so long. But Jug is like relatively still good. Like you could still play Jug, I guess. Like what would you play instead of Jug? Like obviously Slayer and
I'm very keen on Gladiator.
okay. The problem I have with Glad is like what happens when you go for Crimson Dance?
You probably just don't.
You probably just don't go Crimson Dance, okay.
Especially with the attack speed nerfs, right? It's like even harder than before to get all the stacks.
Don't you think that'll feel clunky? That's what I'm afraid of.
Maybe. I really don't know. But like I think Crimson Dance can feel clunky too, so
Yeah, that's yeah, I suppose. But the thing that doesn't feel clunky about it is like having attack speed or like having that axis of scaling. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. It is like it is I don't know. I think maybe I'll give Glad like a proper POB and see.
A funny thing, I mean, I don't really think this is in the sheet where they compare damage. I can't remember, but some skills also got buffed more because they didn't used to use Ancestral War Chief even, right? Like they only
yeah,
used
that's the
Ancestral
thing
Protector.
too. Yeah, you gotta like
Yeah.
try to account for this shit as well.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
those builds got buffed even more. So that's another way why, for example, Viper Strike of the Mamba or Pestilence Strike got even more
Yeah.
relatively, right?
yeah. Man, I guess Jug is still good because you basically get to use a normal chest and not fourth vow. And then you use Tabakwa. It is still gonna be interesting.
I think it's still
really strong.
yeah.
Because
It's still
endurance
strong.
endurance charges will just make up for everything, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's 1% additional LE reduction. So with like, what's the comfy amount of endurance? Just can you get 10 comfy enough, or do you need 8?
Oh wait, but that's not additive with the endurance charges, is it? Is it? If it's additional.
Well, it's one
chat
additional, so you'll be
consecutive, right?
getting. If
Is
you
it
have
5
8,
firm,
you'll be
right?
getting 40% elemental damage reduction.
Oh, so
Mhm.
it is
So
additive.
it is
Okay.
additive.
Is it?
It must
Yeah,
be.
why wouldn't
Yeah.
it be?
Right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
it
that's good,
must
yeah.
be.
All right.
Yeah, I think Jug will still be broken. With like endurance charges, I think
Yeah.
the potential for that. You know what could be fun? Like Relicash, Jug, Tech Slammer. What is it? Yeah, Tectonic.
Yeah. Relikish on it, and then you use Eternal Damnation on a jug. That does sound very spicy. Or probably actually tankier than last league.
Hmm.
Like for LE damage is not going to do anything because you have 90 max rest defended by like you won't even need suppression. You'll get 90 max rest defended by 40 reduction, defended by 35 reduction. So it's like
That is crazy.
if you
pretty
take,
wild.
let's see, what's the math on that? If you take
Oh
like
my word.
a 40, actually it's do a spicy hit. If you take a 80,000 elemental hit, goes down to 8,000, goes down to um 80,000 hit, you take 3,000 damage, I think.
Damn. I mean, what you can also do now that you're less, maybe on that build, you're less, obviously less reliant on spell suppression. You can actually just tap one of the spell suppression clusters and get lucky, right? Just as a little bit extra.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, sorry. That is before the chaos damage. So you take like 80,000 damage, or do like 400 or something.
All right.
It's like actually immoral. Like that sounds crazy.
Yeah,
Pretty
that,
Yeah.
that does sound kind of crazy.
Like the only thing that's killing you then is like what, dots, I guess, and DT.
Dots will be scary, but both the endurance charge and eternal damnation applies to dots. So fizz,
Oh yeah.
fizz dots
True,
are
actually.
gonna be a little scary,
That's
but
huge.
LA dots will do nothing.
Wait, that was a buff they did
Yeah,
last league,
actually.
right? To endurance charges applying to dots too. What was it?
That was
Yeah, it was last
always
league.
there, I think. Wasn't it? I think it was always there with Blood Rage, no?
It might be. Might be trolling. Maybe I got caught trolling. I remember there was something like about. Yeah, no. Never mind that thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, people in chat are saying you can't get endurance charges now with Damnation. You still can with Ralakesh, obviously.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Mhm.
The mechanic is like Relicash, right?
Oh yeah, what was up with that? Endurance charges and power charges.
yeah.
Why?
It is what it is.
Why both?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. Ralikash's new best friend. Stonks.
Yep.
T0 unique ink. Why do they have to remove the movement speed off of those though, man? Come on.
Leaps time.
Yeah, but
But we have now no attack speed, so it'll be like, boom.
No, no, bro. That's what I'm scared of. It's like roll a melee build, and you're like a bleed
Yeah.
build, and you just fucking like I don't know. It's the only thing I'm
You lose
worried about.
protector, linger, rage attack speed, no berserk buffs.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's like watching your dude in slow motion. Oh god.
So how much is +1 max endurance charge Ralakesh gonna be?
On hardcore,
Holy.
fucking everything.
It's funny because on softcore +1 endurance charge was like nobody gave a shit.
Yeah, because you can just
They
go
were
Slayer.
so
You go
cheap.
badge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it had 10 MS, it's like holy. Everybody wanted that.
Funny.
Yeah, softcore, hardcore, man, like completely different games. It's pretty hilarious. There's like so much weird degenerate shit happening in softcore, like in regards to like people just not caring about anything. If you look at Pewee Ninja, have you ever
Mhm.
looked at Pewee Ninja on softcore?
Yeah.
It's
all
terrible. It's terrible.
It's
It's so hard to
beautiful.
even find something to play sometimes. You're like looking at stuff and people are just like, oh, I'm walking around with 3k HP on like literally every single top build. You're like, what is going on
No,
here,
no,
bro?
no. You sort by damage. You get super hyped. You're like, wait, this skill deals damage. Then you put it in POV. You
Yeah.
make it so it doesn't have 2k max hit. And all of
Yeah.
a sudden you deal 3 million damage. It's
Yep.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like do that a lot. Like you can get a lot of inspiration because there's like so many smart people that do a lot of clever things. So just like looking through PoE Ninja, I do look through softcore a lot and look at something that has like 600 million damage, and I can get a tank on this and still have 30.
True.
I'm like, oh, that's nice.
True.
And sometimes you see some wild shit, like people playing EA with decimation bows, and you're like, what is happening here?
I think there's kind of like an elephant in the room with melee though, which is strength stacking, because that's just gonna be broken now.
Battle Mage's
Yeah.
Cry is gone. I guess you go Crown.
Yeah, that's Battle Mage's Cry. I don't think is a massive deal because of Crown, and I mean it is a little bit of a sad, like you do lose a little bit of power there, but with the increase in damage effectiveness on all the gems, I think like it's insane. No, like it's absolutely insane.
A lot of people in my chat are saying it's dead and it's weaker than ever.
Strength stacking.
Yeah. I really don't know. I don't play strength.
If you go Crown, you can't go Warlord Helmet, right? Yeah.
I mean, like you would just go Warlord Helmet and like you lose Battle Mage's Cry and that's it. Like I know it's like a lot of increased damage, of course, but you make up for that with the effectiveness.
What's really interesting is Kinetic Blast now has an inbuilt, right?
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
but we'll have to see.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I was like looking through the patch notes for like strength stacking nerfs, and I didn't see enough to say like that it was bad at all, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that's like kind of concerning because like it always ends up being like the no-brainer of every single melee build is just go Replica Albert on strength stack.
God, Heisters are gonna make bank this league. Oh my lord.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bless them. They
Ice is
deserve
gonna
it.
be insane. That's like I really wanna, especially if I'm playing trade, I really wanna have a strategy for like making early currency. So I'm like Heist, Blight, or Sanctum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's so many blight. There's the I think it's a scarab, or was it a passive on the Atlas tree? But it makes it so your blights only have one lane, and if that's like balanced well enough and like very usable, that's kind of nice. Like you don't have to run on toxic sewers and pray for the one lane layout of only blight reward chests and all of that. Like you just vibe on, a decent map.
We're just gonna do league mechanic. Just take the first few days to build everything and then reap the rewards, right?
Yeah.
Just be poor and then don't be poor. Easy.
Just stop being poor. Just buy a house. Now a town.
Yeah, I mean, the league.
Just quarter a market like this.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
I'm the abrasive catalyst king.
Here is how I made fertile catalysts go from just 10C each to 3 divine each.
This was me.
It's kind of nice that it's not items.
Yeah, thank God,
Oh,
actually.
100%. Yeah. Well, it's so
Like-
much easier from like a UI perspective for them. Because
Yeah.
on the trade side, like you have you have sums, if, not, whatever, like all the
Yep.
options imaginable.
Yeah, it's also. I'm always really worried. Like, I really like that in Last Epoch it's bind on trade. I think that does like it just eliminates a lot of the bad issues.
Really?
Yeah.
I
But
hate
what if you play a
that.
lot of builds and you want to flip into next build and like
Unlucky.
The thing I didn't like is
come
that like
on.
crafting is like an activity that people like doing, right? They just like crafting, and then because it's not like you're just like a leech, you're actually adding value to a market if you're like willing to take on a gamble to
Sure.
like invest your capital into making potential cool items for other people. But then that cuts out that entire like gameplay loop. And especially like for me, like in Last Epoch, I made like an insane chest and I had potential. It still had like crafting potential, and I mirrored it, and I was like, "Yo, now I can sell the copy." And I fucking go, and it's like can't trade it. It's so disappointing. So for me,
Yeah.
I would always like edge on
But
the
if you
side
find
of
the
like,
base yourself, then you can trade it.
yeah, but like finding bases in that game is like, I don't know.
All right, let's not get Tuna started on last Epoch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think like in PoE it's much more viable, but I would always like prefer a free market
That's fair.
I wouldn't, because you're punishing normal players for the fact that there's like some bad actors, and I think overall that makes the game worse. Like I don't know. There are
Yeah, I
still
mean,
cool
I don't know
ways
if
to-
I agree, just because it's so easy to ruin the economy, and I've played so many games that the auction house end up being a negative thing for all its
Yeah.
upsides.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's true.
So I feel like bind on trade just solves so many problems. Like, yeah, it's not without downsides, but I do think it's better.
Mm. I would never want that in PoE. I'd be actually like so disappointed if that happens.
So who's
Speaking
gonna
of,
find the
Yeah.
first gold tube?
I know that I already
Oh,
made that
gosh.
joke. I said like yesterday, I was
No!
like, "Hi, Sister in here," and I just want to know, let you all know that there's a terrible dupe. So like, yep. So
Honestly-
what I heard the way it's gonna work is that you drop a stack of gold on the ground and then you walk towards it, and as your client is about to pick up the gold, you pick up your potion and it duplicates 5,000 gold.
Damn.
Okay.
Spread it,
Oh,
everybody.
you guys might be too young.
What if you like use a gold flask?
Too young, motherfucker. I'm 29, pushing 30. Okay,
As young.
I appreciate that, but we gotta start facing the facts. Pal's over 30 now.
But I'm not
35.
I'm not a D2 guy though. I'm
It's
not
a
D2
Diablo
guy.
1 joke.
Oh, it's a Diablo 1 joke. Oh, okay.
Ooh,
shit.
we are too young.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
I played Diablo 1 when I was 6. Ugh,
God, I wish that was me.
that's good. Dude, speaking of other ARPGs, it's a little surprising that every fucking ARPG is dropping in the same 3 weeks. Like, could we not?
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
what the
annoying.
hell's going on? It had like TLI 3 days later, last epoch, and then it's the Path of Exile right after this, and Diablo 4's doing their announcement same day Pee-wee has theirs. Like, what is going on? Can you guys like chill out for a second?
Yeah, like
Or
talk
did
to
this
each
be-
other.
They did this before, right? The D4 devs with their talks
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
whatnot.
they always
Yeah.
do that. They always sync
They
it
do
up.
that,
with-
yeah.
Troll.
I don't
Yeah.
think. I think they think it's good for them, but I don't feel like it was.
I don't know.
Definitely not. When you
It's
have
like-
everybody tweeting out like, "Wow, look at the comparisons of the reveals today."
See, like, do you want all this shit for free, or do you want to play $40 for like? It's like,
At least
Okay.
they did it before, right? So people didn't know how good PoE,
imagine
you
doing
know?
it after.
Because then otherwise, like the chat would have been so negative. Like, yeah, at least,
Yeah,
you know.
only one new class wall, right? Like we got a new class, Warden and Gladiator rework.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's just crazy.
You know, I just realized we didn't get any new skill gems. It was just like a support,
Nah, we
right?
got the retaliation.
Well, we got
ones.
retaliation.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, you're right. Fuck, I
Time to
forgot about those
retaliate.
completely.
Holy.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean they look kind of sus. They might be good, but also
Yeah,
just like
they
waiting
look
for
like
shit
they're
to
gonna
hit
be-
you.
They're gonna be
There's-
insane or just annoying. Like they're
There's
They
like
look
an
like they're gonna be
annoyance.
good for clearing, bad for bossing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might just have a 4 link, right, and just like run around with it. Like, cool.
There's still no way
Yeah.
in the game to make yourself block, right? Like from your own hits. So
No,
I don't think so.
until that happens,
yeah.
I mean,
unfortunately not.
yeah, there was puncture of shanking, but I think that's just to distinguish melee and ranged, right?
Yeah. It's just
Bro,
a-
shanking is that actually?
Yeah,
a name?
shanking. Yeah,
yeah, that's the melee
control
puncture.
F
What
it. Yeah,
the
it's
hell?
in there. Yeah.
Can be British.
Yo. Yeah, London Simulator.
Did you know I was British, mate? Huh. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm just excited. It's just nice to be back. Like, these leagues are so long.
real.
It's so rough as a content creator. Like, I've been playing Dota. It's not good for me.
I've been playing
Yeah, I had
Osiris.
time to play like I played like 5 different games. It was crazy.
We
Yeah,
did a
I quit
hard
early,
reset.
but-
Yep.
Hard reset and just PoE for at least 2 months.
Mhm.
I need to practice. Like, I'm rusty.
For real?
Right, but when do you ever practice? Shut up.
Fuck you. I need to just do a warm up, okay? I need to do a warm up. That's what it is.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I need to find out what to play, bro. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, like fuck like practice. I can practice late in the league, right? I'm gonna use the valuable time now to like shave an hour off a whatever run. Like, nah.
Oh boy.
Ah. You know,
How did we get that passive tree with everything so early? Where the hell did that come from?
they must have just uploaded it.
Didn't they drop the JSON somewhere?
Oh, did
Yeah.
they? Okay. Dude, we had that before the patch notes even came out. It was like
Yeah, that's
Ziggy D
crazy.
interview and people were spamming it.
We're already like looking at the tree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we gotta get
TDD
that.
released
We
it
gotta
to
get on
GitHub.
that.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh yeah, because they have like a GitHub that they just update. Why didn't they put that in the thing?
I don't
It's
know.
fine.
Well, that's nice though. They've been doing well. Is there any other topics you wanted to cover?
I don't know. I think we covered like a decent amount of like the changes that we're excited about and whatnot, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Unless you guys like have like a build that you already have in mind that you're gonna leak stuff, but I think we talked about that already.
Yeah. We'll have
Yeah.
loads
I
of
feel like you
Maxroll
just-
guys for y'all soon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lots of
Yeah, we're
videos.
gonna
You
be
can't go
working
wrong
hard
with
on
just, like,
those.
Generic melee stuff, it feels like, right?
I hope you're right, man.
Yeah.
I'm
I
I'm
hope so
just like a
too.
bit afraid of the attack speed stuff. But I think you're right. I think Glad, like, how can you go wrong with 95% block
Bro.
Mm-hmm.
and 20% explode? Like, that's gonna feel good, man. Gonna feel pretty good. Hey man, fingers crossed. All
Yeah.
right, boys. We won't hold
All
you
right.
up for that long. Thank you so much
All
for
right.
coming on for the podcast.
It was
yeah.
a
I
pleasure.
hope you guys enjoyed
Thank
it.
you for having us.
Yo,
Yeah,
if you're
thanks.
watching this on the Maxroll YouTube, remember to subscribe and go to Maxroll for all your league starters.
True hand holding and everything.
Yeah. Like we'll personally hold your hand.
Yep.
I won't, but they will. Yeah.
Yo, and the bells toll at the time. Yo, all right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming on.
All
I
right.
appreciate you.
See you
Okay,
later.
boys.
Bye.
See ya.